So, welcome to our 60th session. We have survived 60 sessions of this storyline so far, with only a few deaths. None recent. Well, within the last 10 sessions anyway. And we are still in the Hollow World. And online today we have Jeremy.
Good evening all. Yes, I'm playing Dimitrios, the famous and well-known sage and lawmaster of Chaldara, and hence respected member of the Karameikos military. And now that we've entered down to the Hollow World, I recognised as God. Always appropriate.
I'm sure that's nothing new to Dimitrios. I'm sure he had always said that everyone should have recognised him as that to begin with.
Well, to be honest, not initially. He's growing into the role.
Yeah, Karameikos is the one I think of, but could be wrong.
It is from Karameikos.
No, anyway.
And Griffin Rider's also from there too.
There you go.
Okay, so
KRA.
other person online tonight is Emerist.
Hi, my name is Emerus, and I have some fabulous landscaping deals if you're interested. I play Nasty Stump / Simply Red / I'm little and like to get in trouble a lot. I'm a halfling fighter. Unfortunately, I have not been able to build my legs since we inserted one into a dinosaur and it exploded. So,
But it was an interesting note of how he died in the barbarian's arms. He has not let you forget that moment.
Yeah, I just can't get a leg up.
Isn't it because you did get a leg up?
Yeah, it was more that the leg went sideways. I
But
think
only
that was
because
the
you keep
problem.
putting your foot in it.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
And the best thing about that was instructions for the player while you were away.
Yes, that was the exact instruction I said, was to run forward and stick one of my electronic legs in its butt, and I stand by that action.
Okay, at the table today we have Martin.
I'm playing Willie Toscobble, the Bard. He's a College of Law Bard, and that's about it, really. Pretty excited to be here.
Hey, Willie's done quite a bit so far.
Yeah.
He has been quite the fearsome reputation of cannibalistic halfling in the setting.
I'm trying to live up to it. Yeah.
So far you haven't eaten a single person, you're doing well.
Yes.
And then
Well, he hasn't been caught eating a single person yet.
I haven't eaten anyone.
well, that could be
That's not
worded
what
in
the
many
stories
ways.
say.
And then we have Stephen.
I'm playing Sir Clovius, the courageous fighter, who is a Griffin Rider. He is a Corendon, and he's only joined the campaign recently, after the party that he ventured into the underworld, or what's it called? Hollow World with perished, and he managed to cite them being taken somewhere by Griffin Riders, and so naturally he joined, and then is now accompanying them on their mission.
Just to show the where I got some of my pictures from, we do have different writers from one of the source material. So it's why I blended a lot of different books together to make the setting as it is, because that way you don't have to create it all yourself. And they're currently in the adventure Night Rage, which is a Hollow World adventure, with a lot of interesting things in there. So, in the story so far, since they've entered the Hollow World, they have met the Azcan Empire, destroyed their holy temple, stopped a smoking mirror floating around the sun from corrupting the light's rays and perverting the spell of reservation, much to Dimitri's probably happiness and disappointment, because preserving what the gods have built is one thing, but not being able to bypass it is another.
Well, so certainly the main thing he hates is the fact that it's super magic down here.
Yep. And the light from the mirror had meant that magic pretty much worked normally in those areas, which we would have thought the magic in the setting had been doing previously. So then, after doing that, you travelled on to the Millennium Empire, where Dimitri was treated as the returned god Halav, as king of the people, and you managed to bring the emperor back to life.
Emperor, thank you very much. Not king, emperor.
Well, you brought the emperor back to life. Halav was never an emperor; he was always a king. And the emperors have always acted in his name.
Fair enough, then.
So, and they never. And the funny thing is, the kingdom of the Millennians never actually had Halav as a emperor, but they remember him as the person who stopped the invaders from wiping them out as they fled the battle. So he was always the honored god.
Yep.
And after dealing with them,
And obviously Dimitri lived up to that reputation and saved the people.
and then left.
I restored the emperor.
Just like the story said, you never stayed behind.
That's right.
Though there was an option of you becoming emperor instead.
Hey. There are other worlds that needed saving.
Yep. And he might have been a end to the story if Dimitri disappeared without his, so useful advice to everyone else.
Yeah. People would just get lost if Dimitri wasn't there.
And so you travelled on to the Kingdom of Nithia, where you encountered their strange road magic. And the fact that no one here seems to be able to saddle a animal, let alone ride it. And animals here don't like to be ridden. Luckily, your Griffin Rider has a magic saddle that keeps him in his on his mount, because without it, he'd have fallen off by now.
And the mammoth we came in on stayed behind anyway.
Yeah, he couldn't enter the area. Then while here, you met with the clerics of Nithia, got taken to the Pharaoh, the god king of Nithia, and were given a quest and a magic dagger to go off and stop some scorpion folk who had invaded an oasis nearby. And the Nithians were powerless to affect them, which was unusual for them. Getting there, you managed to, with the use of the dagger, kill a couple of the scorpion folk, and then when you almost wiped out the rest of the people there, they got removed by the spell of preservation, as they were the last of their kind, which was the first time you've actually seen the spell kick in visibly for anything. Which explained a lot of stuff to you as characters, that the spell is a ever-present thing, and it does affect how things work. And it's also when you figured out that the dagger, anyone carrying the dagger can't use magic. Anything struck and has a dagger left in it also can't use magic and is not affected by it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And the dagger's made of a strange metal we haven't seen before, isn't it?
that is correct. It's the first time you've seen that metal. It is more durable than any other metal you've seen. You can't even flex it.
Mm.
And it is thin and lightweight. And in the middle of investigating this lair, you come across a bunch of cocoons for the feathered serpents.
Yep.
Which you'd realise that the feathered serpents would mate and then put a cocoon over them, both the male and the female.
Mm-hmm. Well, because just the scorpions were collecting the cocoon, weren't
And
they?
they were collecting the cocoons.
Yeah.
And then right after the battle, you found that there was a river of fire that went down a side tunnel with a boat on it that seemed to be made out of wood, sitting on the lava.
Mm-hmm.
And that was where we had finished the session with you going, looking at it and realizing something's not right about all that.
That's a strange boat.
Yeah. And the fact that the pier itself is also sitting in the lava and not burning.
Mm-hmm.
So that has you up to speed in roughly what has happened without going into too much detail.
Yep.
Anything else you want to add for the people who have missed it? Such as, I think Emrys missed most of those sessions.
I'm just trying to remember, did we have much opportunity to search around the Scorpion's lair? Because there was a few rooms that we bypassed as we were going in, but...
You did, but the only things that you found here that was any value to you was that they had a stockpile of the cocoons.
Yeah.
And
there was an alchemy room or something that they had antitoxin that I got noted down on mine. So.
Yep. And they also had the antitoxin room.
How long have you got to give someone the antitoxin in order to keep them alive?
You don't know. They have no instructions.
Okay.
You can experiment with it.
Let's just...
Why do I feel the whole party looking at me?
No, happy to wait.
Okay. So we've got a couple options, I guess. We can head back to the Pharaoh, having cleared out the man scorpions according to his requirement. Who was then going to... What were we seeing the Pharaoh for?
You wanted to get some... you wanted to ask him some questions? About the...
Oh, okay, basically, because we wanted to find out what the goblin, the chasing came in here, and so we were trying to... We went to him and say, hey, go to the biggest centre and see if they've heard about this goblin running around. But yeah, before we could actually ask him anything, he was sent us on this quest, didn't he?
He did.
So yeah, so I guess we could be going back to the Pharaoh to talk to him, or testing out this fireproof boat, finding out where that leads to.
Are we right next to the river?
A river of lava, yes.
Could I, find a stick or something and just poke it into the lava and see what happens?
You can. You just have to go up, climb up a big tube of tunnels to get to the oasis and get a stick.
So there's no sticks around?
No, you are deep underground at the moment.
I have a piton, that's the metal thing, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Could I just poke the end of one of those in and see what happens?
Okay.
You're wondering where the lava's hot?
Yeah, I'm curious, whether or not this is a weird lava.
So most of you have put on amulets that you've gotten. I'm assuming your character has as well. As you put the piton in close to the lava, it starts to glow into you actually touching the lava itself, at which point it starts to distort.
Like melt kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay, I pull it out real quick and put it on the ground next to me and let it cool down for a minute.
You have about half of it left.
That's cool.
No, it's fine actually.
But it's cooling.
And
What's left of it is cooling, yes.
and after you let it cool a bit, it seems to stick to the ground.
I remove one of my pitons from my inventory. Moving on.
Touching the boat or the pier,
Yep.
they're both cool.
They both feel cool compared to the rest of the chamber, yes. But you're not really feeling heat at the moment.
See, that's the thing that's weird, is we're right next to a thing of lava, but we're not feeling any heat.
But that's the
we've
amulet
got-
we're wearing.
We've got amulets or something that we're wearing, haven't we?
You currently have a stack of amulets. One of them lets you understand languages, and one of them is protecting you from heat.
So if we touched the lava, would the thing protect us from that?
Would you like to find out?
No.
How hot can you go?
No, I'm okay.
Well, you might be able to go back to the name Nasty Stun.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking about. That's why I stopped.
So, is the boat big enough for everyone to go down if we wanted to?
It is big enough. You could probably fit about 20 people on the barge.
Right.
Who's manning the boat?
Apparently, no one.
So the boat was presumably originally owned by the Scorpions.
Ah,
So,
I would like to board the boat.
Okay. You get onto the boat, and it doesn't even seem to move around on the lava. It doesn't bob or anything. It just sitting in the lava.
so does that mean we are continuing this pathway at this point? Probably worth finding out where it goes, or what the Scorpions. Because they say if the Scorpions are involved in this, then it's probably worth finding out what they were doing. So,
Seems like a good idea to me.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Emperor, do you think we should board the boat?
I suspect that the information that we'll need will be down that way.
So is that a
The
yes?
Scorpions were here because we, as I say, possibly the reason that they started to harass the Nithians is because they've come up from down below. So if we just say, hey, we've got rid of them all, but there's more down below, then job's not done. So,
Okay.
yes, does there seem to be any way to push the boat or act, like, is there oars or anything like that in the boat?
The boat doesn't seem to have any method of propulsion on it.
How wide is the tunnel?
The tunnel is about 4 times as wide as the length of the boat. The boat can easily pass through the tunnel.
I'm not magically minded, but could someone here maybe see if the boat is in a talking mood?
What was that, Emerus? I'm sorry, I was just reading something of that name.
No, that's right. I was just asking the party. I was just saying, like, I'm not very magically minded, but perhaps someone could talk to the boat or see if it has magic involved that could start it on its way.
Talking to a boat, that sounds like a sailor thing.
Okay, has everyone gotten onto the boat?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, as Simply Red, which is Emerson's character, says that, you hear a voice asking for destination.
Greetings, is this the boat?
And it says, please specify destination.
Previous destination.
Okay, it says, going to Night Rage.
Sounds good.
And then you feel the boat just start to move underneath you.
Can I just, like, investigate the boat? Because it seems really weird to me that someone spoke and there's no one around, and I really feel like there's someone hidden underneath a hatch or something.
Right, in the lava.
Yes.
Okay, so looking around the boat, you do see that there are glyphs on the seats, under the seats, so you actually sit on magic glyphs when you're sitting on top. You just don't recognize what the words mean.
Can anybody read this?
Going to say, Dimitri was certainly interested in such glyphs, if you can glean any understanding of them.
It's the pictographs used by these people which he hasn't been able to learn. And which he knows translation magic doesn't work on.
Yeah. So, but yes, so he recognised the fact that the Nithian school haven't actually invented writing yet. They still write in primitive pictures, but
So would
the
using
pictures are meaningless for those that don't recognise.
would using comprehend languages be useful, or
That's where the magical translation doesn't work.
okay?
They have learned that it's one of the languages the gods have said can never be translated.
Okay.
They've never explained why, but there are only a couple of languages that no form of magic translation works on.
All right.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yep.
What the scorpion peeps who we defanged, were they
eliminated?
Yeah, were they human or were they actually scorpions?
They
Yes.
were like centaur scorpions.
Right.
So the answer is yes for both.
I have a question about what we're going to look like floating down the river to the next stop, and whether we should perhaps pack all of our bags and things to try and make it look like there's one of us wearing a cloak or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that most of my ideas are really stupid, and I'm agreeing that this possibly could be one of them, but it comes from a non-stupid part of my brain. Like, whether or not we should try and look like a single centaur scorpion thing, like, at the helm of the boat.
How big are the sides of the boat?
The sides of the boat are, because it's more of a barge than the boat, not that high.
Okay.
So they'd be able to see us in completion. And I know, for example, that us halflings are not well thought of.
And as the ship moves, you're seeing the pace moving faster than you've ever been on a vehicle before. It reminds you of the ship that took you to the mirror in the sky.
I was going to say the flying ship, which it's a Dimitri Cook. I think about when you talk about talking boats. Oh yeah, well, had that before. So, looking at the walls of the cavern, can we get an impression of exactly how fast we're moving?
You think you're moving at about maybe 100 miles an hour?
Holy crap.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
get there quick.
and how long have we gone for so far?
It takes about 2 hours to get to your destination.
How big was Nithya?
Not that big.
I would like to lay down and have a nap.
Mm-hmm.
I figure we're going to get there when we do, so...
So you managed to get a short rest before you
Yep.
get there. Okay, so where is it? So you continue down there, and it comes out into a large tunnel. Opens up into a big area here that you can see. Let's see, I've actually got a picture of it. What appears to be a building constructed on top of the lava itself.
Okay, and the boat's headed straight for that building, is it?
And it's heading straight for that building.
Can we see anyone on the building or anything like that?
So amusingly, that the description it gives you is if you came at this from not the path you came from. So that's always useful.
So that means there's a way out, obviously.
Yeah, there is a way out above you. So that that's how that.
Or we say to the boat, return to previous location.
So the tunnel you're in opens above a sheer drop. The walls curve down smoothly on each side of the tunnel's mouth. You're at the apex of a giant stone hemisphere. The walls are charred black and parts are flowing like molasses. You look down and 50 feet below you see a vast expanse of burning rock, black and boiling on the surface, huge chunks floating in a sea of molten orange lava. Here and there you see fountains of yellow sparks. One area looks more regular. It's a floating rectangle. Hard to tell how big it is from up here, and it looks like a grid with lava burning in various shapes. On the rectangular grid, you spot flickering flames moving slowly back and forth. They look like burning people, about 24 of them. They seem to be carrying things, but you are too far away to tell what, and there is no sign of anything else. And as you do that, you hear a voice next to you coming from the rock, saying, "Who is this? Why are you here?"
I look at Dimitri before I say something stupid.
Yep.
Delivery.
What? Sorry, what said that?
The rock. You can see a mouth in the rock.
Dimitri's going to respond delivery.
Okay, give me a persuasion roll.
Oh, yeah. Good old Dimitri can persuade anyone with this -1. Oh! 18! I'll be through the dice on it like starting from last night.
Okay, so he says, "You may pass," and you see basically the face sink back into the rock.
Cool.
I'm really glad that Dimitri spoke and I didn't. Because I was going to say, "I'm here to kill your monster." And I don't think that would have gone very well.
That might have been just as effective, don't know.
At which point the barge continues and just floats down to the rectangular area below.
I'm just quick toilet break. I'll be right back.
So that is what it looked like from above.
Oh, okay, yep.
So those guys can see, and that's again.
Yep. So we're basically we're going along that lava to that big rectangle, was it?
Yep, that big rectangle down below, as it's slowly lowering down.
Oh, the rectangle's lowering down.
The barge is dropping down to the rectangle.
Oh, okay. So is the barge actually going through mid-air at the moment, or?
It is going down the actual waterfall, one end on the waterfall. Well, lava fall, actually.
Yep. And so we're kind of currently the barge is vertical instead of horizontal. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's still horizontal. It's just sticking out by a tip from the lava.
Oh, okay, right. That's okay then.
And when it reaches the bottom, it just slowly moves over to it and stops next to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and as you do...
And you said there were burning figures or something on the barge? Like on this platform?
Yep, and you hear voices coming from the barge, which your amulets translate.
Okay.
So it will give you a perception roll to see how much you hear.
Dimitri's a bit impressed at the fact he managed to pick a random word that worked. Well, not really. I figured the barge was a lot bigger than the scorpions, so there's a fair chance they did deliveries.
I got 8.
You got
What was it? Perception.
Yep.
17 for Dimitri.
17 for Dimitri.
Did I get the dice?
Dice, I believe, right behind you somewhere. Let's see, where did they end up? Yep, up there. So how much did Martin get?
8.
8. Dimitri got 17. Emrys will come back soon.
12.
12. Okay. So, with 8, you basically don't really pick up much. It's just, yeah, someone's talking, you're not really paying attention.
Yeah.
What did Stephen get again?
12.
12. Okay, you do pick up half of the conversation. It's a bit hard because even though you do get translation, it's a strange, stuttered sort of conversation, very fast. And Dimitri does manage to hear what they're saying.
Uh-huh.
So they're saying it very fast, almost as if it's a single word in each sentence. And it's, who are the burnt out ones? So imagine saying that without a pause between words.
Mm-hmm.
It is basically how they're pronouncing it, which is giving you a comparison of fire elemental versus earth elemental.
Yep.
And then another one says, maybe they have journeyed here to claim the next armor. And another one says, more villains then, alas, these rogues.
Mm-hmm. And that was coming from the boat, you said, or?
And that was coming from the fire people on the floating rectangle in the
Right.
lava.
Okay. Do I recognise the fire people at all?
Give me an Arcana check.
9 plus 8, 17.
You do recognise them as people from the elemental fire, which also makes you think that the person you spoke to earlier was from elemental earth.
Yep, that would make sense.
I mean, the stone.
Yeah, the stone, yes. Because creatures of stone can actually merge and move through stone.
Yeah.
And they can also take things and leave them halfway when they're attacking you. Which is one of the way earth elementals have been known to kill people.
It's effective.
It is. Especially when it's just your foot stuck in the stone and the rest of you stuck out of it.
Yep.
Then you
I'm
don't
back.
really have to do much. Okay, so you've just missed out on why the party was incinerated.
Like, actually incinerated?
So I was just kidding.
Because that sucks.
Because they were in this lava tube in a volcano.
Right.
And they went down, and if I go in close enough, you can see that there's little flamey people on the square thing, rectangular thing.
Yes.
And they just heard them talking about how they weren't that interested in what you were doing.
Okay.
So give me a perception roll, and I'll tell you how much you picked up. Otherwise, the others can tell you.
Alright, let me roll. That's... Ooh, that's 19.
Okay, just like Dimitri, you actually understand their very fast-paced words. So imagine this without a pause between words. Who are the burnt-out ones? And another one says, maybe they have journeyed here to claim the next armor. And then another one says, more villains then, alas, these rogues.
Can we see so what are the elementals doing?
The elementals are hammering, moving stuff around, seem to be doing some sort of armor smithing, by the looks of it.
Right. Can we see any of the armor as such, or any idea of what sort of what like We're talking solid full plate armor type stuff, are we?
They are making solid full plate armor out of the same metal as the dagger.
Right. Dimitri will say that we're not rogues, we have no need of your armor.
And they sort of look at you and going, aren't you a servant of, aren't you all servants of the evil one?
Well,
We are in
Yeah.
service of those who defy them.
We are certainly not servants of the evil one. We fight the evil one.
We are honor bound to serve the evil one and stop all that oppose him.
You don't sound too happy at that prospect.
We are honor bound to serve the evil one and stop all those who oppose him. Do you oppose him?
why?
Not at this time,
You-
not at all.
Then we don't have to stop you. And he just sort of looks away.
To ensure that we do not oppose the evil one, could you tell us more about this evil one? We would not wish to interfere with the evil one's plans necessarily.
Give me a perception roll.
19 on the die, so 27.
Okay, you see all four of the elementals look to a point in the lava and then look at you and say, we cannot tell you where the evil one is, we're not permitted to tell you.
Understood. So, do you know anything about, you can't tell me where the evil one is. Do you know anything about what the evil one looks like?
He is fleshy.
He's fleshy,
He's not burning.
not burning indeed. Would he be my size or more the size of my friend here, pointing to Simply Red? Or no?
They look at both of you and and you get this feeling that they can't understand the distinction between the two.
Mm-hmm. How big are they compared to us?
They are large size.
They are large size, okay, yeah. So, the evil one is smaller than you?
They pause for a moment and go, most of you burnt out ones are smaller than us, yes.
So the evil one is a burnt out one?
Yes.
So,
Does that mean something from outside this world? Burnt out.
I suspect burnt out could just necessarily be not on fire.
Okay.
Even you're talking a fire elemental.
All right.
So, but
It'll probably be a curse in their tongue. When you burn out, you're no longer a fire elemental.
yeah, you're dead, obviously. Yes, but what I'm trying to work out, or Dimitri's trying to confirm, is whether or not the evil one might have any association to our goblin friend and or the blood brothers, brothers of the hand, something. Looking back at old blokes.
They
So
say
Does
should-
anyone have a Holocaust cloak?
they don't have a Holocaust cloak, but they do say that they are bound to Koresh Teed,
Corrected.
which you remember is the name of one of the blood brothers.
I was going to say that's yeah, as opposed to the goblin we were chasing, isn't it?
Yep.
So, which does then fit with the fact that the blood brothers seem to have taken over the goblins that we were trying to chase down. So, because the one of them had taken over and turned him into a big slug creature or something. So, and what is it the evil one has you doing? Just to ensure that we would not interrupt with your work.
Creating armor for him to collect.
And this is the armor?
And they show you a couple of sets in different sizes here, mostly complete.
So, and
Can you check
the armor...
My
Sorry, go
character, Clovius whispers to Dimitri and asks you if you can check if it's magical.
Well, I was about trying to do the same thing. Is that like the noting the metal appears to be the same as the dagger, did it not?
It is identical to the dagger.
Well, okay. Dimitri's eye's not necessarily a metallurgist. It looks the same. That's close enough. He will attempt to.
Could I ask him a question?
He'll attempt to make the armor dirty with or clean, depending on its current state, with prestidigitation.
And while you're doing that, what's your question, Dimitri? As you asked him, Emerus, as you asked him a question.
I was just like, you are honor bound to stop anyone trying to stop the evil one, but you're making the armor for the evil one, right?
We are honor bound to make the armor. Yes.
Would you like us to help you? We could deliver some.
We cannot let you have this armor. They said. But as soon as we return, we'll have more to tell you about the solemn oath we swore to protect it. And then they sort of head off to the edge of the cavern at that point.
Do they take the armor with them?
Nope.
But yeah, so Dimitri's giving a bit of a test with prestidigitation on the armor just to see if it has any effect.
It seems to have absolutely no effect on the armor, and you notice that the elementals are all busy staring at the wall away from you.
Yep.
Staring at the wall.
They've turned away on purpose so that we can take it.
Yes.
Yes.
The point being the fact that the armor, yes, they're offering the opportunity. Now, but Dimitri will point out that this appears to be the same style as the dagger, so therefore magic will not work or be workable if you're wearing it.
As well as the spell of preservation will not work against you, so people's weapons will work as if this is normal armor, unlike any other armor you wear up in the Hollow World.
What type of armor is it?
Full suit.
Yes. What type of armor would you like it to be?
They're all full suit armor.
Full plate.
Full plate, yeah, full plate armor.
Well, Sir Clovius will definitely take a set.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need to be affected by magic.
Would there be a set that would fit me?
Yes, there would be a set that if you can wear full plate, you can put on the full plate.
I can wear heavy. Is that?
That is heavy.
Plate? Yep. Okay. Yeah, I'm heavy proficient.
Impervious to magic. That's pretty powerful. And that it works here. Yeah, that too.
Where is it?
That
Yeah.
too, yeah, you're right.
So it doesn't provide any better armor class than the normal armor. But I was going to look at the player's guide to say, where'd I my player's guide? That one my player's guide? Is this your one?
It's yours.
That one's mine?
No, it's
That's your one, yeah. Okay. So I had mine somewhere around here. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't have a strength requirement, and it doesn't on this armor. And it weighs 30 pounds instead of 65.
But you're going to have high strength anyway, I'm guessing.
Like so, if you're a heavy fisher,
It
hopefully
weighs
it's
more.
not an issue for you,
It
but
weighs less. Normally it weighs 65.
Could I see it?
My strength is 20, so
Cheers, dude.
I'm a tough little bastard.
you
Not
are.
very smart, but tough.
That's where my player's one went. Just wanted to make sure I didn't displace it.
Right.
Because it's always handy when I need it for other games. Okay, so yes, does Dimitri want to have full plate?
Dimitri has absolutely no. Dimitri said, "We are not thieves. We're not interested in your armor."
What about, does Willie want full plate?
No.
Obviously, Dimitri was speaking with the royal we, no context on the people with him.
I think. Well, now that my dexterity has got an extra 2, so it's 18. So I'm a class 16.
Don't you have magic?
Yes.
That would be pretty detrimental.
Yes.
Severely.
But he can still talk and sing, just can't magically sing.
Will it affect my book of Simarak?
You don't know.
I'll wear it for now. We'll
Is
see.
there by any chance a shield of this stuff? Not really. So I say that the rest of the party, we don't know who the evil one is, other than that he's making some kind of band of armor protected, conservation magic
The
protection.
evil one
Ones.
they named as Korestade, who would appear to be one of the Blood Brothers who overtook the goblins who were chasing down from the upper world.
Oh, okay,
Which your character hadn't been told about until now.
right.
It's one of those missing bits of information.
Wasn't he one of the parties that... Oh, well, sorry,
he
he
killed
was one of the parties that
goblins?
went off looking for the goblins, but he didn't know about the Blood Brothers, did he?
He didn't find out about the Blood Brothers. You found
Right,
out
yeah.
about that.
Okay.
So wait, he killed one of the goblins?
You know,
The quick update is going on. Basically, the goblins have been possessed by previous generation ancestors of the goblins from about, I think it was around 200 years ago, that were dark sorcerers that performed dark magic upon those they meet. So, and apparently significant players in this attempt to stop the spell of preservation down here in the Hollow World.
okay, so
And yes, evil one certainly fits their context. So,
at this stage, you'll say no. There is no shield. Looks like they'll only be making the full plate itself. And you do notice that there seems to be a unnaturally bright ribbon of fire through the lava nearby.
So just by wearing it, you can see that.
Everyone can
Everyone
see
can
that.
see it.
Wander over and have a look.
Okay. It seems to be attached to the edge of this foundry, and goes across about 20-30 feet of lava and then disappears.
A ribbon of like hotter lava, brighter lava, sort of like in the lava.
Straight and then straight down. It's the only straight part of lava you can see anywhere in this chamber.
Well, I'm not walking on it.
I suppose to make you think and everything. The just so we get from a player's perspective on the fact that it might be interesting to know where this metal comes from and bits and pieces and stuff. But as I say, Dimitri's curious about all sorts of different things, so he will ask the questions. Once those that are going to grab armor do so, or while they're doing it, in fact, Dimitri will wander over to where the elementals were having a smoke.
Well, they're basically not standing on the platform. They've gone to the far edge of the chamber, away from the platform.
Oh, okay, right. So they're not actually anywhere near to talk to at the present time. So, okay, not to worry then. Now the boat took us to the platform itself, didn't it? So therefore it can potentially take us to... Now, the spot where all the elementals looked to say they couldn't tell us where the evil one was. Does that happen to be the spot where the bright falls down or something?
That seems to be where the end of that bright ribbon ends.
Right. And that's apparently somewhere in the middle of the lava lake, but...
Right in the exact center of the lava lake.
Right. So... Okay.
Looking at it next to the foundry itself, it appears to be flame that is intertwined like rope.
Mm-hmm.
And appears to be attached to the side of the foundry.
Goody. Well, here's where we test just how strong these amulets are. Dimitri's going to carefully place his hand down towards
Can I grab his hand?
The one he's putting down or the other
Yeah,
hand?
can I stop him?
You can, yes.
Dimitri, I'm pretty sure you need your hand more than I need mine. And then I'll do it.
Okay. It feels like you're touching silk rope.
Ah. Can I pretend that it hurt? Like,
Sure, give me a deception roll.
That's a 14.
Some of them might believe it, but most of them have heard your false bravado before.
Yeah, fair enough.
Considering a base number for everyone else is your sense motive skill bonus plus 10. Is your ability to tell when someone's just lying if you're not trying.
Yep.
So insight plus 10, you mean?
Insight, yeah, plus 10.
And what did you say? You got 16?
14, he said.
14.
Oh, I was going to say 16. I thought you had 16. I was thinking, Dimitri was momentarily thinking, then, okay, 14, yes. Dimitri was momentarily thinking, thank you so much, Simply Red, for saving me from such a dire fate. I do appreciate it, surely.
You're welcome.
Now get up.
Alright, so it looks like we can touch it.
And the lava didn't affect you.
Yes. That was the next point, was the idea, great, we can hang on to the rope of fire, but then can you in the lava to actually get down through along the rope of fire? So, does the rope dip into the lava from the bridge? Like if you put weight on it?
The rope itself is under the lava.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in putting a hand on it, we proved about the lava as well.
It's just
right.
so bright it lights up the lava clearly, and it seems to be hot enough to keep it molten.
Mm-hmm.
You think it is elemental fire.
Cool.
So strands of elemental fire woven together.
Should we climb down this rope into the lava? What do you guys reckon?
That's up to you.
So, the amulets that we've got, we've pretty well confirmed they work well.
Yeah, I'll start climbing down.
Well enough.
Climbing down
far
through
anyway.
lava is pretty brutal.
Because I've already been scarred with fire and stuff, so it's not like it's going to do much more, right?
Well, take your amulet off and find out.
As you say, if it's hot enough, it'll remove the scars.
Yeah.
Along
Exactly.
with your skin,
Melt
and
the-
flesh, and bones.
So it's a skin peel. I get it. That's cool. So I'd like to start climbing down the rope.
Okay. You find yourself moving through. It feels like mud as you're climbing along the rope.
Mm-hmm. Is he finding you can breathe?
He can breathe.
Good. Does he pop up again to say that, hey, I didn't die? Or
I was just going to say, I pop up and do a thumbs up. Like Terminator style with the hand sticking under.
as he goes down. Yeah, well, I guess we're going down.
Though you did have to hold your breath under the fire.
That's okay.
because there's no actual air down there.
So, admittedly, yes, so one wonders how deep it goes then and how far you have to travel. So,
Luckily, as characters, you can hold your breath a long time.
yes. Just like we can jump a long distance.
You can. It's the sudden stop that can be a problem.
Hmm. So, so, Dimitri's, before he's going under, he's giving a quick tap to confirm that his necklace of adaptation is still there, still active, and
Yep.
he will head down the rope.
Okay.
Are we saying we're dealing with a lesser version of magic?
Which part?
The what now?
What are we wearing?
You're wearing an amulet that seems to protect you from all heat.
Okay, cool.
Where'd we get that from again?
The scorpion folk.
Oh.
We found it amongst their stuff.
And I've proven that the armor doesn't stop the amulet from working.
Oh.
Because it just occurred
Another
to me.
important point. Can still use magic items.
Well, and assuming you say magic items still worked, I think, with the dagger. It's just that spells didn't work. The spells got absorbed into the dagger.
Right. It depended on the effect, really.
Yeah.
And it was rather specific. You didn't experiment much with the stabbing the dagger in people and seeing what worked and what didn't work.
No.
It is one of those interesting side effects. Okay, so you start climbing down, and you find yourself going down about 100 feet before you come out of the lava and start coming up a tunnel where the flaming braided rope went down and then up a tube. So it seemed to take you into a new area. And it is amusing seeing this flaming rope because you can see through the rope when it's out of the lava. But it feels more solid than any rope you have touched.
Yep. Dimitri will be curious how we can cut off a bit of elemental fire rope that is replicated.
So the foundry you saw before reminded you of a blacksmith shop in function. This small chamber also reminds you of a smith shop, this time in appearance. You see iron machines that fill the room, black with soot, and yellow firelight flickering on the walls. You hear the clank of metal on metal. All the noises you hear sound distant, almost drowned out by the gusts of heated air circulating here. The room is roughly square, maybe 20 paces across by 10 wide. The firelight is really the glow from the lava pool at the center of the room where you are now. The ceiling is high enough that the glow can't reach it. From the darkness overhead, a big mechanical apparatus hangs down, a conglomeration of hooks and barbs at the end of multiple iron rods. The hooks instead in all directions. Or so it looks to you. You see a living creature stretched between the hooks, a feathered serpent. All of the serpent's feathers have been plucked, exposing pink skin. The hooks go through the serpent's wings, through its upper and lower jaws, and all along its body and tail. The serpent's body is twitching, and now and again it hisses weakly. Standing beneath the serpent, facing away from you, are two figures. One human-sized and wearing a large cloak over a suit of armor like you guys, and the other a large, dark humanoid. The armored figure is using a long pincer tool like a pair of pliers to pull at the scales of the feathered serpent. At the feet of the armored figure lies the tattered remains of a cocoon. And what's more, you see piles of cocoons lying everywhere. But the sensation that strikes you most strongly is that persuasive odour of serpent mint that you found out from the shepherd that you met earlier.
Shepherd, yeah. Oh, you said serpent mint.
Yeah, serpent mint.
Yeah. I thought you said serpent meat.
No, serpent mint. So very minty.
Yeah.
And you see two people here. They haven't heard you come in.
Uh,
Are we happy that they're evil?
well, I'm certainly happy that the serpents are good.
Could I whisper to you guys to stay hidden and I'll go out and say hi?
No, we're going to do a surprise attack, aren't we?
Well, I thought it could be a surprise attack while I was talking to them.
No, surprise
Yeah.
fireball, surely.
But remember, okay, you two go for the guy in armour. I will try and take out the guy that's not in armour.
Cool.
Okay. You can see
Really?
the
Likewise.
you can see the horn sticking out of the unarmored guy, and he is a large creature.
Are they within 40 feet of each other?
They are standing next to each other.
Well then, yes, I can blow them up with a fireball.
But you don't want to take out the serpent if we can avoid it.
Also, are you really sure that they're going to be susceptible to fire?
Yes, I wouldn't count on fire being all that effective.
Well, there's a guy with some pincers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Implies that-
they've come down through the fire to get there, haven't they?
Okay.
Presumably they've got at least an amulet like ours.
You believe the room itself is still scorching hot.
Alright.
You might not even actually see an effects of a fireball go off.
Do you have an ice like equivalent?
A fireball might
I'm just
cool
going to
the
duck to the
temperature.
bathroom, so if you want to discuss tactics, I'll be back in a moment.
Yeah, a fireball might cool the temperature in that location.
Yeah, Martin, do you have like an ice equivalent spell?
No.
That's not cool.
How far away you say they were?
He didn't. Oh, well, he might have said it, but I don't remember it.
So when you asked about the range for your fireball, I was thinking,
Well, he mentioned that the room was 20 by 10 and they were at the
oh, okay,
one
so
side of the room. So
they're a matter of within effectively melee range after a single move.
yeah, they're within a single round attack, yeah.
You do realise with all the noise happening around you, it would be very hard for them to hear you come in.
Yeah. And so we'll certainly say, having seen them, we'll certainly be ducking behind a piece of machinery or something like that and talking quietly with the plans.
As you duck around, you see that there are many more of these feathered serpents already pinned up in the room.
Okay. But they still appear to be alive at this stage? You said the first one was still writhing.
They all seem to be alive, but they all seem to be in different forms of some sort of transmutation.
Right. So,
So do you want us halflings to take one and you guys take the other?
well, certainly yes. I would suspect that it's probably advantageous if a melee goes for each of the melees. We've got the paladin and the halfling both in armour, so I was not going to use magic. You might as well charge and try and take them out. But I would think that you're probably better off ganging up on one as much as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dimitri using spells will certainly try and get the guy not in armour. And then, as I say, you can pull out other options to try and take that guy in armour if you guys haven't got him yet, or either way round.
And Martin, did you want to attack melee or did you want to use spells?
I was going to try a spell, a fear spell.
So that won't be affected by my launching forward, will it?
What would be the effect of your fear spell if it goes off?
They'll run away.
They haven't got anywhere to run to at the moment, have they? that we know of.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can wait.
Oh no, I'm just thinking, like look at the area, man. If they were to run,
There is
Where
no
would
far
they-
for them to run.
right. And what's the effects of the fear spell if they can't run?
Because it gives them disadvantage and stuff, so that'd be a really good idea anyway. Even
That's,
if they can't run.
I'm more than happy with that sort of thing.
Mm.
So.
Each creature in a 30-foot cone must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or drop what it is holding and become frightened for the duration. While frightened by this spell, a creature must take the dash action and move away from you by the safest available route on each of its turns, unless there is nowhere to move. If the creature ends its turn in a location where it doesn't have line of sight to you, the creature can make a wisdom saving throw. On a successful save, the spell ends for that creature.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And certainly at least going to actually stop them fighting back initially, even if they can't run. So.
and by maintaining line of sight with the creatures, they don't get a chance to make a save.
No, that sounds good. And I say any other effect won't actually cancel it, so that's good.
So the each of the party members can now make an initiative roll to see how you stack up to them.
Well, against each other, hopefully we're getting a surprise on them, aren't we? Because they didn't hear us.
21.
I got a natural 20, so 22.
Oh, jeez.
I got 11.
And you all crit from Dimitri's perspective, he got 8.
So can I just clarify that what's going to happen is a halfling's going to launch forward and attack them.
Yep.
And then they're going to be terrified by the other halfling and run away.
Possibly.
God, they're not going to want to tell their kids about this day, are they?
So Clovis goes first. What does Clovis want to do?
Yeah. I was just going to mention that because you are in the cone, you'll have to make a save, but you do get advantage on the save because you're a halfling.
That's fine. I'll do that.
What about the Clovis?
Plus, they're also wearing the armor.
So the armor won't affect them.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah, so
You haven't
Clovis
tested that yet.
will charge in at one of them.
Which one are you charging at? The armored guy or the Minotaur?
I'll choose the Minotaur.
Okay.
And
Dimitri sees you charge and think, what?
so I'll just make an attack.
Oh, you got dice. Okay.
Do I get disadvantage from the conservation effect?
Not from this. No, technically not from him.
Great. Okay, I got a. I'm gonna spend a luck point. Oh, God. So I got a 12.
A 12. Okay. You miss with your first swing.
Oh yeah, I get 2. That's right. A 22.
And you hit with the second swing.
Right. For 14 damage.
Okay. 14 damage on him.
And I'll use my action surge to
Go
make
again.
another set of attacks.
2 attacks, yeah.
Okay, a 20
20 hits.
for 10 damage.
Yep.
And I got a crit, which is good because I get bonus damage on crits.
You do.
So that's 8, 12 plus 7. And wait, no, does the crit get my strength bonus as well?
Easy thing for a crit is just double your initial damage.
Oh,
So
Yeah, normally it'd be the case if you double the dice, but don't double the strength. But
I'll just-
anyway,
I just simplified it by saying just instead of
you simplify double everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
reroll.
that's a double.
Okay, so 12 doubled is 24, but I get an extra bonus dice from my Piercer feat,
Mm-hmm.
and the bonus dice is for 3, so 27.
27
for the crit.
Okay.
That was a lot of damage. 50 damage or something.
Yep. 51 to be specific.
Right.
Hopefully it'll hurt him.
Okay. And it is now Simply Red's turn. Who was Simply Red going for? The
All right,
the
I'm
armored
going to
guy.
go for the armored guy.
Yep.
And just to clarify that I intend to use an action surge,
Yep.
and I intend to use sweeping attack.
Okay.
I don't know if I need to mention all of those beforehand, but I'm just covering all my bases.
So what's sweeping attack going to do?
So sweeping attack is part of my combat superiority. When you hit a creature with a melee attack, you can expend one superiority die to attempt to damage another creature with the same attack. Choose another creature within 5 feet of the original target and within your reach.
Okay.
The original attack roll would hit the second creature. It takes damage equal to the number you roll on your superiority die.
That's fair.
Cool. So, go in, and I roll for my first attack. Using the rapier. So that will be 24.
24. Okay, so yes, you do hit.
Okay, so that is 7 plus 5, so that's 12 damage. And then would the 24 hit the second guy as well?
It would.
And then he takes 5 damage. And
Yep.
then my second attack from my normal attack, I roll 19.
19 hits.
And I roll... That's 12
Yep.
piercing. And then I'm part of the action surge. I'll then get my extra 2 attacks.
You get 2 new attacks. Yep.
Yep, so roll the first one. So that's a 28 with a natural 20.
Okay, so that's a crit hit.
Yep. So that's 11 damage, so that'd be what, 22?
Just noting down that you don't get any magical bonuses on the weapon.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm using my normal rapier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's 11, so that's what, 22?
22. Yep.
Yep, and then roll second.
Yep.
And that's 16.
16 misses.
Uh,
Well, he is in full plate.
I just glare at him. But I did a bit of damage, right?
You did.
Yeah, I suspect you got your attention.
Okay, so the Minotaur reaches down and picks up a axe bigger than Willie.
I thought you were going to say reaches down and picks up the halfling.
The head of the thing is bigger than Willie, made out of the same material as the dagger.
Okay.
And it's got it seems to shine in the foundry as he swings it at Sir Clovis.
Okay.
What's your armor class?
20.
Well,
Damn.
Is that a 20?
yep.
So
It's flashing.
he Clovius him in half.
Hmm.
So it might be because it is 2d12 doubled.
2d12 double.
Yeah.
Should be okay.
Unless he rolls 2 12s.
We'll see.
Well, this is only his first attack, remember?
Yeah, does he have a letter that we can give to his loved ones or anything?
So that is
Just take care of my griffin.
40 points off the first swing.
40.
It's alright. Dimitri's executive of his will, and he'll ensure it gets dispersed appropriately.
Okay, good.
That is nothing to sneeze at.
Jeez.
And he swings a second time. This time he hits armor class 18.
Not enough.
Not enough because
Nope.
of your shield.
I have a shield.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But you do see a rent in your shield.
God damn.
It is made out of the same material as the armor.
No, I didn't get one of those,
No,
did
he's
I?
actually made out of the
his
same
weapon,
material
so
as the
therefore I
armor.
cut
Oh,
through
his
your shield.
weapons. Oh, shit. So he's got an anti-magic weapon.
He does.
Oh, I can't call that out, can I?
You can pretty much.
I'll call that out to my party.
Because
This one's
it's
got
now
an
Willie's
anti-magic
go.
Weapon.
Because Willie did see him pick up this big. Oh, sorry, the other guy gets to go first. Then it's Willie's go. Okay, he turns around and picks up a stick and swings the stick at Simply Red. As he does, the stick lights up with runes up the length of the stick.
So are you saying both these weapons are going to suck magic into them?
The Minotaur is magic immune, or just as far as we know, because he's got.
Okay, would a 26 hit our halfling?
No, because I'm really short, so it went over my head. But yes, it does.
Okay. So he does. That is. Well, technically, because of what you're wearing, he doesn't even do that much.
Yeah! Yeah!
He does 6 points of damage as clangs on your armor. As you can see, and then he notices that you're wearing the armor. And he says, thief. Then he rushes away from you towards the lava. At which point you get a attack of opportunity, as does Sir Clovis, as he's rushing past the two of you.
Okay. That's a 21 to hit.
That is a hit from Simply Red.
Okay.
And how about Sir Clovis?
I got a 25.
That is also a hit.
That's 12 piercing damage.
I got 10.
Good. 10 damage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he collapses between both of your blows. As the crunch of the armor going down. And then it is Willie's turn.
Well, I'm still going to cast Fear. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
You can choose not to because you're not bound by the fear yet.
You haven't had a chance to react and see what's happened. So the advantage of taking your time. You were slow on the initiative. You were just engaging the battle carefully.
Good thing about you don't have to prepare your actions before your round. You can change mid-range.
So I don't... Okay, so
Just because you're planning on casting fear does not mean you need to actually carry through that action.
Right.
If you want, you can choose to clap instead.
Well, what I can do is sing you a song, because it won't take long.
Mm. So is
I told you.
Is that
I told you you
inspiration
could
song?
still sing in armor.
Well, I'll sing a song to... Emerus's character, I've forgotten his name.
Simply Red.
Simply Red.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, he's singing to you.
Yeah.
He's giving you a lullaby.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So yes, you will get to add a...
Unfortunately, you sing the song and don't provide anything of use to him as the armor soaks it up.
Ah!
It stops bad things happening, but also stops good things happening.
Alright.
Okay, so
Okay.
Dimitri's now up. The reason why that's part of the reason why I think Dimitri didn't want the armor either.
Hey, look, a big reason why Jake didn't want the armor. Okay, well, Dimitri's going to use his crossbow instead.
Yep.
And take a shot at the guy in armor.
Yep.
His original target. Well, not there anyway. So, 16, AC 22.
That is a hit, and as you fire it, you see it light up in flame as it leaves the crossbow.
Okay.
Basically, the room's so hot, the
Yep.
item combusts as it's moving.
As soon as it leaves the protection of my thing. Okay. So you think I hit with the flaming arrow? That's cool.
Technically, yes. just as cool as he's immune to the fire.
Yes. And there's nothing left of the arrow by the time it reaches him. Is that right?
Luckily, most of the bolts have metal components, so you're still hitting him with something solid.
Oh, okay. So I am still doing damage?
You are still doing damage.
Oh, okay.
It just lights up with flame and leaves a trail as it goes.
Oh, so I'm firing tracer bullets.
Very much so.
And yeah. So, where am I? 4, 7, 9, 15, 18 points of damage from the crossbow. A non-magical piercing damage.
Okay, it digs right into his shoulder.
So,
Okay. And then it is Clovis's turn.
I'll
Minotaur's
actually
still
use
standing, right?
a bonus action to hide, and then my move to a different area of the thing, so I can make another sniper shot.
Yep.
So the Minotaur's still standing,
It
right?
is still standing, yes.
Alright, well, I'm going to use my second wind ability as a bonus action. Oh, Kurt. Damn it.
You get back 1 hit point.
Worth locking that? Probably.
Does luck work on a d10?
Oh.
A lot of them work only on the d20.
Luck works on most things.
Remember also, we haven't actually had a rest since we were fighting the scorpions and
no,
things
no.
either.
You're right.
Although I don't know that we actually had much of a fight with them, because someone did a fireball and they all disappeared.
Oh, you did fight them above the tunnels?
Oh, we had a couple of
And you had a short
first.
and you had a short rest after that.
You had a short rest? Oh, well, yeah.
Okay, well, I get back 9 hit points.
Yep.
And I'll attack this, the Minotaur. He's still up. For 22.
22 hits.
Alright. Damage is 5 plus 6, 11.
Okay, he's still standing.
I get another attack. An 8. Well, I'll luck that for a 9. Right.
Total of 9.
No. Plus 8 is 17.
17's a hit.
Alright. And that does another 11 damage.
Okay, he collapses down with the last blow.
Which means I get 3d6 temporary hit points. It's the Blood Lance.
Which
Sucks up his blood or something.
which you don't actually get.
Oh.
Because
you're already
Oh, you're kidding me.
That the
armor
blood,
becomes
that the bloodlance sucked it, but it didn't give it to you. It gave it to the armor.
Right.
Ripped off.
That's pretty ripped off.
You get this
This is
benefit of not
going
being
to-
able to be hit by magic, but then you don't get the benefits of using magic at the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
time.
yeah.
So
Still pretty good.
what you can figure out is magic that you're wearing inside the armor still works. Magic that you're using outside the armor on external things
What
still
if I
works.
took off my gauntlet?
In which case, then any anti-magic properties can still hit you if you're not wearing the gauntlet.
But only on my hand.
No, it's either you're affected or not affected by
Okay.
outside or inside.
They
Fair
have target locations.
There's no munch getting that.
Okay,
Dimitri's going to immediately see how many serpents he can pull down and rescue from the pincers and chains and whatever other experiments going on with them.
Okay, so looking around, you find about 10 suspended serpents. Though by the time you get to the 10th, probably about the 7th one, they don't look like serpents anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And
They're looking dead, or
no, they're looking more amoebic. And the final one looks very close to what you saw on one of the giant worms up in the Broken Lands.
like one of the ones that were sort of like the Azcan. Because we looked at the fact that the difference between oxyotl and oxantiotl,
Yeah,
didn't we?
you did.
And we're looking at, so this is looking, seemingly the process was transforming the feathered serpents into the what do we call them? Wind serpents or something?
Not quite that nice. Do you think it's turned them into some sort of symbiont to attach to the great worm that you saw dead in Galantry, Broken Lands area?
Oh, okay, right. Yep. So,
And
right.
there are stacks of untouched cocoons here as well.
Mm.
You also find a passage heading further into the place from where where you can hear sound of machinery also coming from.
Was it it was the passage, the direction the Minotaur was going to try and run to when he tried to break?
No, the one who tried to break was the guy in heavy armor, and he was heading towards the flame where you guys were, the pit of lava.
Oh, okay, right.
Basically, you'd be very hard to fight while under the lava.
Oh, yeah, no, that's right. So I was thinking it was the Minotaur broken first. So, yep.
I think Sir Clovius will investigate them, like see what they have on them.
Okay, the one guy has a nice looking cloak around his armor. Has pictographs embroidered in the actual cloak itself, as well as a stick with pictographs up it. The other one just has a big axe. Basically, axe for a large-sized creature.
Interesting.
The serpents that Dimitri's pulled down.
Yeah.
Do they look like they're going to survive?
Well, they look in need of healing. Without healing, they probably won't survive.
Mm-hmm. How long does it take for Willie's circle to be formed? Because he's got that sort of healing circle or something, hasn't he?
He does, but his healing circle summons a spirit.
And therefore it doesn't work.
He can summon a spirit to die horribly here using his hit points.
But I choose not to.
No, that's right. That's how I was just trying to think of something that would be an easy, good heal. So.
Yeah, that's what I wanted too.
So Clovius will try. Is the cloak magical?
Hard to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you're wearing the armor.
Yeah. Well, the armor doesn't seem to stop magic items from working. I'll put on the cloak and see how it feels.
It doesn't really have any noticeable weight on it, and it looks stylish. In the local style.
That's always helpful, I guess.
Whereas the style of the armor you're all wearing is not in any style you've seen before.
Does anyone have detect magic?
Yes. It's a ritual.
You spend 10 minutes doing it.
Yeah.
Should we take a break or should we keep going, guys?
I'm thinking that at least for the time being, we probably want to keep moving without too much of a break. It's only quick stuff we can do, I would think, because the evil one is still in front of us, apparently. So
Clovius will hand the rod that he found to you, magical-looking rod.
Okay.
Runes are still lit up as you pick it up.
All right. Thank you.
So, yes, unfortunately, I don't know that we can do anything for these serpents. If there are ones that are looking to be in agony and will die shortly anyway.
I mean, I've got Healing Word, which would only give like D4 hit points. Is that going to be enough?
Well, you don't think any of them are in look like they're going to die soon, but they do look like they've all been tortured and maimed by the process.
But like a D4 +1 or whatever hit points, would that?
But that's only one at a time, isn't it?
And you've got 10 of them.
Okay.
Perhaps we can just place them down on a blanket or something. The equivalent down here.
Though to get them down, you do have to pull out the hooks, and the hooks are all barbed hooks.
Well, I mean, I can cast 10 Healing Words. 4 of them at first level and a couple at second level.
Does anyone have medical skills?
We're likely to want to have potentially your skills when we face the evil one.
There's a slight problem with using medical kits here, is the moment you step away from them, whatever medicine burns up.
So why aren't these serpents burning up?
You don't know.
Mysterious.
I'm thinking that trying to get them off right now will just put further torture through them. We should leave them momentarily and come back when we collect all the cocoons.
Could I ask a question?
Yep.
I'm the tinkery one that likes making robot legs and stuff.
Yep.
Could I look around and see if there's any mechanisms that you could perhaps activate which would lower them down gently?
Not in
Like
this,
you would assume.
Not in this room.
Oh. Alright.
If there are mechanisms, they're not here.
Okay.
It does look like there could be some mechanisms, but nothing you can see.
Well, I think we should probably move forward, but keep an eye out for a way to lower everyone down.
Okay, I'm certainly wanting to restore them if possible, but working on the idea of, okay, anything we do right now without the ability to actually, and the opportunity to actually cure them, is probably going to hurt them more.
It's good to see an emperor making the big calls.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you see the passage off to the side, and not far into that passage is a hole with a ladder going down. Made out of the same material as the dagger and the armor.
Yeah. And can we see how far down the ladder goes?
You can see it goes down at least more than 60 feet.
Right. Well, I suggest that potentially we want to go down quietly if we can. You guys in full plate armor might be more challenging.
No, that's where the stealthy ones go first.
And
And then the clankers come later.
So, okay. You happy for Dimitri to go and do a bit of a scout?
What's your plus on stealth?
He's Dimitri, he's good at everything.
Absolutely. He's got +6.
And I got +7.
Mm-hmm.
Dimitri doesn't notice the difference.
No, because he's a rounding error. He'll be fine.
Hey, Dimitri's happy for you to go forward and say. He's still used to when other members of the party expected him to be the scout.
He prefers everyone else to risk themselves.
Absolutely. Or he's more than happy to let them. Not as he prefers, just happy to let them.
Okay, so Willie descends first.
Yes.
Give me a stealth roll as Willie goes down.
Do you want Dimitri to go with you?
25.
Okay, yours.
Do you want Dimitri to go with you?
Did you want Dimitri's help, or were you going by yourself?
Well, no, I'm happy to go on my own.
Okay. You wander down. As you go down, you realise that the walls of this tunnel are made out of the same metal as the ladder.
Yes. Which is why I didn't specify the fact that Dimitri gets +6 on stealth, but would normally get advantage
Why?
because he's got magic boots, but they're not going to work while he's
The
walking on the
boots of
ladder.
elven kind.
Yeah,
Well, so do I.
but they're not going to work while walking on the ladder. So,
Okay.
Okay, so you make it down to the bottom, and this entire place seems to be made out of that metal. It's a 50-foot wide, 10-foot high cylindrical room lined with vertical pipes running from floor to ceiling, all made out of the same ore. Lava from the you can feel the heat running through all the pipes as you think this is over the lava itself. And you can see valves and machines everywhere around this room, and the air resonates with the flow, a loud clanking over a steady bass thrumming. I can see a lot of water clock type gauges around the room. You can see 5 of the elementals here, standing at machines, pulling levers, twirling gauges, doing various things here.
What are they?
Are the fire elementals. Working machines.
And they are kind of friends of ours, as long as we choose our words carefully. Is that correct?
As far as you can tell, yes.
well, at least the ones up the top were. These are not necessarily the same fire elementals.
And they haven't noticed you at this stage. In the center of the room, you can see a weird arrangement of pipes, tubes, forming some sort of cylinder beneath it, with whole lots of wires and stuff going in and out of it. You're not really sure what it does, but not far from it you can see a half dome which seems to show the world out of the ground. It's also suspended slightly off the ground so you can see underneath it.
Okay. Alright, well, I'll go and report back.
Okay. You have no problems climbing back up the ladder?
Okay.
So what did you actually see down there? Just lots of machinery.
And there was a half dome thing, which is a representation of the world.
Okay. And was anyone down there?
Yes, several fire elementals.
Okay. Did they see you? Did they react to you?
I haven't made my presence known.
Okay, so it's like so they didn't see you. So.
Yes.
But you didn't see anyone who would be like Koreshte, the evil one?
No, there's no evil one here.
Okay.
So I would think making ourselves known to the fire elementals might be a good idea. But I'm happy to amend that.
We'll all get down there. We'll aim to be keep out of sight at least initially, which could be interesting with the clanky guys. But yeah, we'll have a look down there and see what's available. So, but yeah.
So everyone heads down?
Yep.
So.
Disadvantage on your stealth.
Were there any other exits from the room?
There were no exits you can see on the room, so you got a 7. How did Simply Red go with disadvantage on his stealth roll?
I don't want to talk about it.
An natural 1?
Might have been.
Okay, so there's an almighty clatter. Simply Red pretty much bounces on every rung on the way down, with a loud bang as he hits the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Being the last one down, and not a single one of the fire elementals turned to look.
Okay, that's promising.
Okay. Dimitri will turn to the others and say, "Be very, very quiet."
Did I hit my head on the way down?
Probably a few times, but luckily the armor was very protective.
but my ears are ringing, so I'm going to go, sorry!
There's no need to let the elementals know that we're here. Stay quiet. Okay. And then Dimitri will, with exaggerated stealth steps.
Do the pantomime stealth.
Absolutely, yes.
Are you going
Move
to the
across.
strange machinery or the
Yeah.
dome?
He's pointing the dome first up.
Okay. Moving over to the dome, it's about 15 feet across, and it seems to show the outer world and the hollow world at the same time. And you can see the crust in between. As you look, you can see little lines between the world marked through like blood vessels all through the center of the world between the inner and the outer.
And
by
it
the
appears
look-
to be looking at the land masses on the outer world and on the inner world, and in fact on the hollow world. Do they have any of the floating continents?
Doesn't show any of the floating continents.
Okay. Do the land masses look accurate?
They do. They remind you of. You can even make out Karameikos.
Okay. Dimitri's going to aim to take careful note of these blood vessels in the crust, and particularly see whether or not there's any spots where they actually reach the hollow world or the outer world.
So while you're looking at it, you are noticing that some of them are growing in length as you watch.
Right.
And they seem to crisscross a lot of the area. As you're looking at that, you hear a voice coming from nearby with a very goblin-like tone, coming along famously, you hear. And soon I think the whole shield will crumble like a ruined foundation as you see a goblin very emaciated in more of that armor step around the corner.
Emaciated.
Emaciated, yes.
As in thin.
Very, very thin.
Very hungry.
Dimitri will immediately aim to duck down below the table or whatever tucks up, basically aim for a hide.
Where you're standing, the only place to hide is in the illusionary globe itself.
I'd like to turn
It's in, the
into
very,
a stump.
it's in the very center of the room.
Yeah, okay, like before the idea with the hiding, I got the impression it was on a table, you said it's 15 feet across, didn't
It's
it?
15 feet across, but it's hovering over the floor.
Right.
I'd like to turn into a tree
And
stump.
okay, so it does appear to be an illusion. It's an illusion of this thing, it's not actually a solid sphere.
It is an illusion, and apparently one you can interact with.
Dimitri will then, yes, he'll aim to actually duck under the sphere, like under the illusion, and basically be like all through the illusion type stuff. Yeah, find out what the reaction of I can't remember which goblin this might be. The other goblin, presumably.
And with a clank of metal on metal, he stands on the other end of the room from everyone across from the sphere. So he's got the sphere between him and everyone else. And he calls out, "A marvelous scheme, truly. Send enough tunnels through the core of the world, and like a wall eaten through by termites, it will collapse. Can only speculate on what this effect will have on both the inner and outer worlds. We shall soon see, I imagine," he says.
To anyone in particular?
He's just calling it out. Imagine one villain gloating.
Yeah, villainous glooting.
It's the villain stating his plan.
And he's wearing this magic armor.
Or
I'm
anti-magic armor.
kind of into the idea of us running out and killing him.
Well, Dimitri's not so keen on that idea. He's more keen to go his crossbow bolt to try and kill him, but...
And he continues while you're haven't decided if you're attacking yet.
Well, I was going to say, Dimitri's effectively loading his crossbow stealthily, and he's about to shoot.
I would like to run forward and attack him while he's talking.
And he says, "How nicely it dovetails with my..." And then he stops because you're attacking.
His evil plan.
Well, it's okay. I have no problems with you interrupting a monologue because then you don't get the monologue.
I just feel like...
You fool! This is the villain's main weakness.
Can I
Extensive
take it back, or
monologues
is it
about
too
their
late?
vulnerabilities.
I have no problem with you being very enthusiastic. You'll just have to
Well-
figure out another way of finding out.
Can I take it back, or is it too late?
No, it won't matter, because Dimitri is about to shoot anyway, so...
Alright.
Then he'll blame you, obviously.
We have
Yeah.
to capture him and interrogate him, guys.
But of course, the other factor is that, yes, it's all well and good to wait for the villain to finish his monologue and tell you his plan. But that also gave him time to power up all his capability and powers in the meantime, you see, so...
Yes, there are things with letting people go too long and things of cutting in too early. You don't know which one is which. So what is your initiative?
16.
Well, Dimitri's ready this time.
8.
So 8 for Willie, and what was that for Simply Red?
16.
16, and what was that for Dimitri?
20.
So yes, you were prepared with that bolt.
Yep.
Okay, so Dimitri goes first.
Does he get advantage for being hidden or for attacking for, like, a high initiative?
Well, you're attacking with cover, so yes.
Yep. 13... AC... 19.
19 is a hit.
4, 5, 8, 11... 14 points of non-magical piercing damage.
Okay, you hear him cry out in pain. Do you have any other actions left?
It's probably not really worth him trying to do a hide move type stuff because there's not really a place to move and hide to, so he'll just be staying there under the illusionary cover of the illusion.
Okay, next up is Sir Clovis.
So Clovis charges in, yelling, "Surrender and we may spare your life." And attacks for a 22.
22, you hit.
A 9 plus 6, 15 damage.
Okay, no magic can be added to that damage.
That's just his normal damage.
Just making sure.
And the other attack is for 18.
18 hits.
Do I still get the bonus to hit from the lance? Oh, I don't. Okay, so that's a 17.
And a 17 is a miss.
Okay.
That's why I said that's the benefit and penalty of the armor.
Mhm.
Magic has no effect on hitting you. So magic weapons aren't any better at hitting you than any other weapon.
But I also can't use magic
You
weapons.
also not better at
You
using
can still
armor.
use a magic weapon to hit someone because it's outside the armor,
Do I still get its bonus to hit?
but not on his armor because he's wearing the same armor you're wearing.
I got it. Right.
So
Okay, that was confusing.
that was where he actually had the same armor.
Right.
So Simply Red is now up as well. Apparently,
Alright,
your charge happened the same as everyone else's charge, so you can't blame Dimitri. Just that you
I'm
started
gonna
yelling
blame
first.
Dimitri. Whether or not I can is a different matter. I would like to attack... So have I seen that he's taken a crossbow bolt?
Yeah.
I don't know. Clearly, Dimitri shot first.
Yeah. So, I would like to try for non-lethal damage.
Yep.
So I'm going to do my attack as per normal.
Yep.
So I'm going to roll and the tappy roll because I can't roll dice because mine are missing. That is a 22 to hit.
22 is a hit.
Okay, and that's 8 non-lethal damage.
Okay.
And then a second attack unless he's down.
He's not down.
And then a second attack. And that's a 28. Oh, crit.
Crit. That's your hit.
Yeah. So that's 10 damage, so that'd be 20 non-lethal.
Yep. He's still standing.
Oh, motherfucker. And actually, no, there we go. I've got it. As part of that, no, I don't have that one. Okay, no, that's all right. That's it.
Okay. Then it is his go. He laughs at you. Quite loudly, and grabs a amulet around his neck and commands all the elementals in the room to kill you.
Son of a bitch.
You have a feeling they were not going to act until he did that.
Yep.
Okay, here we are. Elemental minions. Okay, but it was a bonus action for him to do that. And then he stabs at you with a dagger. Okay, so he hits armor class. That is 29.
Only just.
Only just.
Yep.
And you actually think you see. You've rarely seen a master with a dagger at work.
I'm skilled.
Mm-hmm.
Expert.
What, you mean he's almost as good as Dimitri was with the Emperor's sword?
Very much so. I just have to actually bring up the details here because I didn't put it in the thing yet. Because when you actually work it all together, it comes out quite nicely. Okay, so he is... He rolled that. He actually crit on a 16.
What?
Ouch.
But I'm not arguing with the roll, but how does that even work?
He's a master of the dagger.
He's Grandmaster, actually.
Normally I get a crit on an 18 to 20, so for him to get down to that level would be a grand achievement.
Okay, so, and with the dagger he deals, would be 10 damage normally, but it's currently dealing 9 damage. But, sorry, doubled will make it 18.
Yeah, right.
And he has a second attack.
Of course he does.
And that would hit armor class not enough. I believe that is 15.
No, I've got 18.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 15 on a 2.
Are we confident that if we kill this guy, then we can give other orders to the...
Depends on if you actually know how to give orders or not. Okay, so at this point a fire elemental charges each of you. So, first one goes for Dimitri.
Mm-hmm.
And it swings at you with 3 scimitar attacks. Okay, first one hits armor class 12.
Misses. I'm glad to see that he's trying hard to hit me.
Second one, he stumbles and seems to drop the scimitar and go, oops, and spends the rest of his action picking it up.
Okay, yes sir.
Cool.
Surrender now. I give you the option.
They're not permitted, he doesn't respond to you.
No.
Then one attacks Sir Clovis. hitting armor class 11.
Nope.
And then attacks him again, hitting armor class 17.
Nope.
Then attacks him again, hitting armor class 18.
Nope.
Okay, one goes after Willie. Hitting armor class 10.
No.
Armor class 9.
No.
And then armor class 9.
No.
And then
Don't you love it when the enemy don't really want to hit you?
Then one goes after Simply Red, who hasn't been attacked yet, with an armor class of 9. And then his armor class 18. No, sorry, 15.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I'm good.
And then armor class 11. And the other two seem to be waiting for one of their friends to fall before moving in. No, not wanting to crowd the others. And then it is Willie's go.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw a dagger at the main guy.
The special dagger.
Yes.
Okay. Which means you can then cast magic again, which isn't probably going to work here because the walls are all made out of the same material.
And he's got the armor on, but
But will the unbreakable dagger do something?
it'll still hurt him.
It's still a dagger.
Okay.
Won't break.
It'll give him a spare to show his Grand Master with if he loses his first one.
He's already.
It's true. The other one's still in my ribs.
Oh no, he still got it. He didn't actually throw it at you.
Okay. Anyway, I missed 2.
You missed?
90.
Okay, bounces off his armor. Then it is Dimitri. You're up. What would Dimitri like to do?
I will roll. No, because he dropped his scimitar, didn't he? So yes, Dimitri will take another shot at the goblin.
Yep.
15 AC plus 6. Yep. AC 21.
AC 21. That is a hit.
Okay. And Simply Red's still near him, isn't he?
He is.
3, 6, 8, 14, 17 points of non-lethal piercing damage.
Is it non-lethal?
Sorry, I meant non-magical.
Non-magical.
Not non-lethal, I meant non-magical.
You see the arrow go in and he fall over.
He fell over.
Okay. Now, when he commanded the elementals to attack, did you have any actions associated to that?
I seem to use a bonus action while holding an amulet.
Right.
I'm right in front of him. Could I roll a perception to see if
Dimitri will say, grab that amulet.
Okay, so Clovis is up.
So Clovis will try and grab the amulet.
Okay, give me a perception roll.
3 plus... Yeah, I'll use my last luck on that. Ah, the same number.
Apparently it's meant to be.
Every time I've rolled luck, it's gotten the same.
The question is, what amulet?
Yeah.
As you call back.
Damn, I was planning to do that on my turn anyway.
What amulet?
No, I'll grab the amulet.
You're too distracted by this flamey person swinging a scimitar at you.
Right. I guess I should attack it. Natural 1.
Natural 1? Okay, so how would you like to do your natural 1? I dropped my sword. Then Ben picked up the sword.
Obviously, you're not trying to fight the elementals either. It's good to see.
Drop the lance.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And then spend the rest of your action picking it up?
Sure.
Okay. Apparently you're copying them.
That's right, yes.
What does Simply Red want to do?
So I was right in front of him when he did the necklace thing, right?
Yep.
So
I'll give
are
you
we happy
advantage
to
on
say that
perception.
I could repeat it?
I'll give you advantage on perception roll to grab it.
So if I rolled a 20 on the first, would you need a second roll?
No.
Well, you might roll another 20 just for curiosity.
No, it was a 12, so let's go with the 20. Sorry.
Okay, yes, you see the amulet, and you pick up the amulet.
I would like to ask the fire elementals, stop attacking. We are not your enemies.
They all pause and look at you.
Excellent.
And
And then I call out to the party to stop attacking.
And for the first time, you actually feel a wave of hatred coming from all the elementals directed directly at you.
Yep. I'd like. Is there a main elemental or a leader or anything?
None of these guys look like any leadery sort of person.
Can I walk over to the main? Like, are we out of initiative now, or?
You are currently out of initiative, but
You've got one right in front of you.
yeah.
Can I look at him and say, "This is a horrible device. I wish not to use it against you. Can I give it to you? Will you attack us?"
Okay, so you see two words on the item.
What they say?
You don't know what they say, but you think you can pronounce either word.
I think what?
You believe you can pronounce either word. So, one is on the left side and one is on the right side.
Dimitri, do you know what this says? I don't want to kill these people.
So you bring it over towards where Dimitri is, and
Yep.
As you notice, nearly all of them are, all the elementals move to where you are and follow behind you with weapons ready.
Yep.
can Dimitri translate them without saying it out loud at this stage?
So what you see appears to be a small iron vial, about 3 inches long and a finger's breadth in diameter. The tube has no opening, but has silver runes engraved upon it, with 2 different command words.
Okay. I will. Yep. Do you mind if I take it? Simply?
No, that's fine. I'll give it to you. But I look at you and I hold it your hand as you take it off me, and I say, "We will be freeing these."
Oh, absolutely.
And as you pick it up, you feel the anger and hatred of all the elementals move to you.
So, so I can see the wounds, but I can't actually work out what they are.
You think you can activate them, but you don't
Yes.
know what the activation does yet.
I will hold the tube up, so that therefore, and so that at least the frontline elementals can see. And if I slowly point my finger at one end of the tube, we'll say holding in my left hand, so I'll point at the right end of the tube and the right side of the symbols. Do I feel the sense change at all? The sense of hatred against me.
You have a feeling they don't understand what this thing does.
Okay.
So you get no change in feeling towards touching either of the symbols.
Right.
But you do have a bard in the party.
Sorry?
You do have a bard in the party.
And what will I be doing?
Is this likely to be some sort of legendary item type
Quite
stuff?
possibly.
Yeah.
That's why I thought I'd bring up the, hey, you've got someone useful who knows all these old stories.
Well, yeah, Dimitri will go and talk to Willie. So, I think I've heard of such of these items that form compulsion upon genies and the like. Usually they're lamps and bits and pieces in the stories that I've heard. Have you potentially heard of such that would work on elementals?
What kind of spell am I looking for?
This is not a spell. This is bardic law.
Okay.
It's like a class feature.
Right.
Bards are good at knowing things. Obscure things.
Would history work on this?
He could basically make a history roll or an arcana roll in relation to this item.
So Clovius is quite educated. Can I make a history attempt?
I've got a +8 on history.
You could,
about
but the bard has bonuses because of being
Sure, yeah, you can do it.
studying.
Are you better than +8?
No, you go ahead. I just think we both whatever.
So you do have advantage on the roll.
23.
23. Looking at it, you think this is a legendary item
Nice.
known as Endurance Vial. It's used to trap creatures from other planes.
Hey, that's what Dimitri said.
One word releases them, one word captures them. Damaging the item kills what's inside it.
So, how is it being used to control these fire elementals?
You would think
presumably,
that
if there's got if there might be the mates of these fire elementals are being captured inside.
it is immune to elementals, and elementals can't activate it, touch it, or affect it in any way.
Can elementals be sucked into it?
Yeah.
Right.
As can celestials, as can fiends, as can other stuff. It is made using dark magic,
Right.
so it's a item of entropy.
In order to get the creatures out of the bottle, is there a way to...
Well, it's more of a prison. There is no opening in any way, and it basically traps them until released.
So the idea being that
But it can be, but they can be released. But
One command word.
one word
the
command
left one
traps and one
them.
word releases. Is that right?
One, the right one releases them, and you can tell from the writing which is the left and which is the right.
and will all the creatures come out? Right.
It's
So it's
a
an all or nothing.
you can suck as many as you want in, but you release everything at once.
Right.
Yeah. So the idea being that so if we are not confident of which word will actually be the release, however, if we said the entrapment word, and it would entrap all the ones around us at the present time, but then we could say the other word, and it would presumably release everything.
Technically, yes. Though they would have a chance of resisting the entrapment.
Yep. Okay.
Dumping a bunch of fire elementals out would be a pretty powerful way of attacking something.
Well, I'm thinking if that relates to what the goblin was talking about when he got cut off by Nasty Stump.
Oh yeah, is he fully dead?
When you look, you see that the arrow had ricocheted inside the armor.
Is he still
As in
breathing?
there was, like, there's no body in there.
There is a body in there. It had basically bounced a few times through the body because it can't penetrate the armor once it gets in. So it's equivalent of if someone shoots you in the armor, just bounce around inside that armor.
So is he dead?
He's very dead.
Right.
So
He
yeah,
was
so really
probably
not,
struck 4 or 5 times by the bolt.
Okay.
you see that was just because it was Dimitri's shot. You see. So Willie's not can't say with confidence as to which word is released and which word is entrapped, can he?
I think I can.
Willie believes he does.
Oh,
Yeah.
Willie believes he does. Okay.
I know which words would put them in there, and which words would release them all.
Okay. Then Dimitri will again holding the tube up so that the elementals can see. And he will say, "I believe that we can release any who may be trapped within. However, if we make a mistake, or if I make a mistake, then I will ensure that you're released immediately after."
Okay. They don't respond to you, but they do look still hostile towards you.
Yep. And then, yep, okay, so which word does Willie think is the correct word to speak for release?
Skativacrim for Karameikos.
That's good enough for me.
You mean the one on the right? Okay. Yeah, Dimitri says, "You mean the one on the right," as he's twiddling between his fingers. But yes. Yeah, Dimitri will call the word that he believes will release the anything trapped inside.
Okay, so see if I can get a nice picture of what is released.
Oh shit.
Yep, I'm looking at the ceiling there. That doesn't really hold much. Okay, so what am I looking at? I did have to, go through my books to find what you'd actually see.
Goody.
Okay. Okay, so you see a huge elemental get released in this tiny chamber. So something sort of like that.
Oh, goody.
Right, but it was released, so
As well as
Friends.
at the same time,
I'll be
you
released
see-
very angry.
You see a gargantuan elemental also released in the earth elemental.
Yep, so there's both the fire and
Which
the
starts
earth
to
in there.
burn.
okay. Well, that's not
And the
torturing.
chamber itself, you think you've now trapped the earth elemental in here and yourself as you're pinned to the walls. As the entire thing just
Put it back.
takes its space. Everything is pinned in place as you just filled this space with a gargantuan creature and pretty much pinned it into the shape of the room.
And if we draw it back in, will that help?
Well, either that or you'll spend the rest of your lives squished.
Okay, let's do that.
Because you can't even move your arms.
All right.
Dimitri will certainly attempt to call the other word.
Okay. I believe they don't get a saving throw on this one. Let me just check. Okay. Okay, all but the earth elemental are sucked into the tube.
Well, that's not what we wanted.
The fire elemental didn't.
The fire elemental went in. All the fire elementals went in. He rolled a natural 20 on its resistance roll.
Are
Do
we?
you want to see if you can try again?
Are we still pinned?
Yep.
Okay.
It pretty much had it dropped into this big space and went swoosh.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's try again.
Yeah, exactly. Dimitri will certainly try it again on the idea.
It's not like trying to move around and killing us. Is it?
Well,
He
from what he
can't move. You can't move.
yeah, from
It's
what
not
he
like
can
tensing his
see,
muscles.
it
Well,
did
it's
nothing
in-
whatsoever. Because I expect you didn't see the elementals go into it at all. It's just a case that the big one didn't go in. So he'll try and call the word again.
Okay, and then suddenly you can breathe and there's no one else in the room besides you guys.
Alright, so let's go to an open area and then we can do this
Why?
same thing.
Just leave them in there, I reckon.
No,
You guys want to free them?
Yeah.
absolutely.
Are they sentient creatures?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
So let's go outside, release them all, and then we've got a bottle of demonic stuff.
I don't think we've quite finished
If
exploring
required.
this area, though.
Really?
Have we?
Well, looking around, there
Anyway.
seems to be no other exits from this place,
Oh, okay.
except for the apparatus nearby.
Oh, I have to investigate with
Well, what's the status of the apparatus?
Very crushed against the wall.
I'm going to go over and roll an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an expert investigator. So I've got a 12, so 21.
Okay, you can see some sort of blood and mucus swished to the wall here,
Mm.
which was
So
whatever.
it's just
was in the
totally,
tubing.
like, gone.
Well, it was the only thing in the room not made
Okay.
out of the metal that the armor's made out of.
Mhm.
So everyone in the armor was perfectly safe without taking any real damage. Everyone else was. But you're pretty much pinned in place by the armor. So yes, whatever it was is now flat.
It's just beyond recognition.
It's pretty much squished into itself.
Was there, like, levers on it, or...?
If there was, that's also flat too.
Alright.
Well, so was that the goblin?
Did,
that
did,
No,
wasn't the
there was,
goblin.
like, a device, like an apparatus. Some
Okay.
kind of
Did-
thing.
did the goblin have any
You're
other equipment on
supposed
him
to
or any other stuff on him?
The goblin did have a dagger, as well as an amulet, like you guys are wearing.
Just a question: if we take that off him, does he like instantly incinerate?
Technically, yes.
That's cool. Let's do that.
Okay, so
Well, let's take everything else off him first.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. I just thought it'd be cool to be like.
you've got a dagger with a rune on it that you don't recognize.
Do you guys mind if I take that?
I suspect you'll find it's the work of the other god.
The what?
As in, we have two gods operating down here at the present time.
It's not a good one.
He's talking
We
about
have
the
the one that's on our
Scientologist.
side and the other one, which Dimitri is carefully not naming.
Yeah, the Scientologists.
So what's the name of the thing where you can trap creatures?
They call it a durance vial.
Durance?
Yep. And it's
Yeah.
considered a evil act to entrap creatures in it.
So it's a good thing that it was Dimitri that did the job.
Is that
This is
dagger made
goodies.
of anti-magic stuff?
Was that the
The
no,
dagger.
No.
Oh, it wasn't.
No.
Oh, I thought it was one of those daggers. My bad.
Well, yeah, but basically after looting the body of the goblin,
Yep.
Dimitri will be aiming to head back up the ladder, and then back up the open fire
Yep.
into the big
Boundary.
blacksmith area we came across first of all,
Yep.
which was a very much larger space, was it not?
It was a very much larger space.
And in fact, we had earth elementals up there, didn't we?
We
We didn't
did.
realise at the time when they were talking, but they would have been talking to us through the wall.
That what you do recognize. You did recognize it after the fact that it was an earth elemental that had talked to you.
Okay.
But
This
This durance vial, you can use it on demons without it being an evil act.
And it's basically entrapping things.
And then when you release it in a town, it's also
An evil act.
An evil act. Actually, you just like using it for a while, and then it gets too full and explodes in one battle. Like you keep sucking demons through, and then one time you're
Yeah.
fighting a demon, you try to trap it, and it just explodes, and all the demons come out.
So, well,
Yeah,
Dimitri's
well-
plan is to, if the platform where the fire elementals were working Does that touch one of the walls at all of the chamber?
It's close enough that the earth creature could reach the wall very easily.
Yep, okay. So Dimitri's plan in here is to get up here and release everything into this chamber, where at least the fire elementals should be happy enough, and the earth elemental can
go into the
escape
earth.
directly into the
Yeah.
wall,
Okay.
Good
which
idea.
obviously couldn't do down in with the metal.
Okay, so you see them both appear, as well
Well,
as
both
the
plus all the little ones, isn't it?
plus the 6 smaller ones.
Yep.
And give me a Arcana check for anyone who's looking at them.
Well, Dimitri's also trying to talk
At
to
these,
them and say,
elementals.
Dimitri at the same time is trying to talk to them and say, hey, I'm sorry I had to put you back in there, but we had to get you a space where you can actually fit. But Arcana check for Dimitri is 23.
Okay, you recognize that you've had 2 elemental princes, or hard to tell when elements are neither male or female. Prince and princess has very little meaning.
Yes.
As one of fire and one of earth had been trapped in there.
Ah,
Which
very
is why
powerful creatures.
the lesser elementals had to accept the commands of the goblin.
And you also see a hybrid elemental that you haven't seen before, a mixture of earth and fire.
Oh, we got magma elementals.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing in there.
Yes, it was just the goblin was just playing matchmaker. He just wanted to build a bond between the 2 elemental worlds.
Okay, so the earth elemental thanks you in a rather slow voice. As calls itself Nicolite.
Nicolite.
Cool.
And it asks you why you freed it.
We're good guys.
The we defeated the one that entrapped you, and to help ensure your freedom.
So you have no desire for a wish of
A wish.
A
payment.
wish.
Can it grant a wish?
It appears to be an elemental prince.
Gonna say, it's just it's the genie in a bottle. I told you.
If you feel that our service to you would be worthy of such a reward, You wanna say no?
history check.
12.
You've heard many a story about people asking for wishes of such beings.
I don't think we should ask one, guys.
Is there anything we want to wish for? I mean, apart from the
No.
obvious.
I honestly
Sounds
feel like
plot.
we should not.
It would be good to know
The goblin's plan.
the conclusion of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would really help progress.
Well, I say if you could help us understand what the evil master's plan was here, that would be greatly appreciated.
He wished to destroy the world by undermining it.
Very simple.
This is.
You
Isn't that what you just asked me to describe?
Yes, yes.
Do you know how he was going to? How it was that he was drilling holes through the crust?
It pauses for a bit and then thinks and says, "Eat awoke the great sleepers."
The great sleepers. Is that a term that Dimitri's heard before?
Not a reference you'll remember hearing about. Give me a history roll.
History. +8. 1927.
Okay, so you related to what they call the annelids, the great worms that you had encountered before.
You saw, and that were being controlled by the transformed serpents that were then being, so, yep, okay. So, yes, that does fit.
The Fire Prince says their name is Aura Grandize and asks, what do you wish of them?
Likewise, we were freeing you purely for the fact that it was the right thing to do, and it opposed the plans of that who wanted to aim to destroy the world. If you have information that will be able to support this process, then that would be welcomely received, but there is no requirement or expectation from the act of freedom.
Then they will tell their family not to hinder or attack you and provide you any information they find in the future.
So Clovius
And that's something that Dimitri's particularly keen on.
they'll
Because it
make him a lance out of that metal.
They could, but then they will not actually support you in the future. But they...
Yeah, no.
okay. We don't need any further thing from them.
Because you have the feeling that asking the equivalent of asking a genie a wish always turns out badly for the person who asks for it.
Okay. But Dimitri's also working on the fact that there was a statement there that they will continue to provide information in the future. For his purposes, that goes forever. He's going to keep asking for it, just like he keeps talking to Yen, he's going to keep asking for bits and pieces.
He says they could make you a lance if that's all you wish for.
No, it's okay. The equipment you've got will do the job. I do not believe that do the elementals know where this material comes from?
They say it is the world shield or the crust of the world. It is the dividing barrier between the hollow world and the outer world.
Mm. And you want to be making stuff from it? He's talking to Suppliers. So you want to take that which will destroy the barrier of the world?
It is the barrier of the world that separates the two.
Can we ask, is there anything else, like we've released him, and obviously we've helped them and we're going to get help in the future. Do they need anything else from us before we head off?
They have no need for anything from you guys, as they can leave of their own volition here. They know how to use the gates of this world.
Okay, cool.
Not many elementals can use the gates here.
I just thought it was polite to ask.
But they are happy to help you get to the surface of the hollow world.
That's helpful, isn't it?
Are they aware of any way to undo the damage that the goblin has already done to the world shield and or the crust?
The gods themselves would know. It's not something it was something they'd have to take to the elemental lords.
Would getting to the outer world give us access to the gods?
They can't reach the outer world from here.
And we actually remember we lost contact with the gods before we came down.
Yeah.
Fair point.
But they can take you and anything you want with you to the Serpent Oasis.
Which would save us a bunch of time, wouldn't it?
You would.
Well, a couple of hours.
You could do it in one trip instead of about 15 or 20.
Oh, sorry, yes, we've got the things, and in fact, yes, we've got the all the cocoons to return, and as I say, you take the time to actually try and save those serpents that were being strung up as well.
Oh, could we ask, do they have any healing abilities?
Let me see. Do they actually have healing abilities?
What, your legs?
Well, but we can.
No. For
We
the
don't actually need it because Willie's able to actually cast enough healing for you, weren't you? If we
Well-
didn't need the spells otherwise for the rest of the day.
that's a good point. Yeah, fair enough.
No, I think the issue was that healing spells. The healing spell I have relies on having a spirit.
No. Didn't you say you had enough healing words if you used up all your
yeah.
spell slots for the day?
Yeah, if it's only a D4 plus 1 or a D4 plus 2.
But that still stops anyone from dying from any sort of
It means that we can at least get them down and get them to return, and that they can recover eventually when they get back to the lagoon, the oasis.
Okay.
Okay, so they assign some of their family to take you and the cocoons and the serpents up to the oasis.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll probably start helping set up a bit of a triage area so that Willie can do his thing.
Yeah.
Well, the triage probably happened before they actually got unhooked from the things, but
You can't really triage in an area where it will burn off as soon as you
Yeah,
stop being near.
So that's what I
Okay,
mean. So once they've come back, we can kind of set up a bit of a cot area kind of thing.
Okay, so you get them all up there. The elemental princes leave before you go.
mm-hmm.
And you find yourself out back in the Serpent Oasis. As you're there, you see some of the cocoons in the oasis start to open.
Oh, nice.
Okay. We got them back in time.
Some of the ones were here, and some of those ones. And let's see if we actually have.
And obviously, the ones that we also, we take out the ones from our pack too that were from the man scorpion's lair.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if I've got the actual picture of them here. 43. Okay, so yes, you actually do see the coatls come out of the cocoons.
Nice.
So, and you do recognize them as actual celestials.
So we're talking intelligent beasties.
Intelligent beasties. And you can hear their thoughts in those of you not wearing armor. Hear their thoughts in their head. As they thank you for rescuing their brethren.
We're glad that we could be of service.
Do you need me to roll dice, or it's just hand waving?
Well, it's more of a telepathy, but celestial magic.
Okay.
Though usually the armor is blocking celestial magic. So they help you tend to the wounded, and then they say that our debt to you surpasses the height of the sky. If you care to, would like to usher you into the presence of our great matriarch, the Queen Mother. Only she can reward such heroism. But do not answer frivolously. The trip to the Queen is difficult, for she lies in our most secret place, Ashmorang, the hatching ground.
Sorry.
Oh, I'll go.
We would be honoured to travel to such a sacred place, but may we rest up and prepare ourselves before attendance upon the Queen.
They are happy to do so, and basically take you once you have rested.
Okay.
So we have a quick long rest.
A long rest?
Yeah,
Yep.
have a
Or even a full long rest, not just a quick one.
You have a full rest.
Did I get your action surge back?
On my health.
You get full health.
Cool.
and half any dice that you might have used when you took short rest.
Half any what?
Half any dice you might have used when you took short rest.
What's the dice?
You can spend hit dice during a short rest to recover your
Oh,
points.
right.
But you have to have the hour rest to do so.
Exactly. I couldn't remember whether or not taking damage when we took the short rest last time. So.
Okay, so you managed to rest quite soundly in the oasis. It is nice and quiet here. And you hear many of see many of the feathered serpents help the hurt feathered serpents cocoon themselves so that they can evolve. Do you think this is a natural form of their celestial evolution?
Well, before we do this long rest, you have like detect magic or like identify?
Oh yeah.
Could you check if this cloak is magical? And we also have a magical dagger.
So yeah, certainly we'll spend part of the rest trying to identify any items that have been collected. So the dagger,
The runic rod.
cloak, yeah, there was a rod or wand or something, wasn't there?
There was a staff, a dagger, and a cloak.
Okay.
And there was an anti-magic battle axe as well, large size.
Which wouldn't be magic.
Well,
Well,
and
that's
also,
kind of magical in
okay,
itself.
Magic cannot detect anti-magic.
yes, you might be hard to identify with identify spells actually.
Yeah. So we're not going to identify that.
Anything that's anti-magic is considered non-magic for the purposes of magic.
Oh.
And it doesn't necessarily mean like you have a bonus to hit or to damage,
I
but
thought anti-magic was magic. It's not.
Anti-magic is the absence of magic.
Sort of.
So an anti-magic field removes anything magical in that field.
No, that's true. It's true. But isn't it abjuration magic?
It can be, yes, but it has no aura of its own.
No, that's true.
Okay, so you have identify.
I have detect magic.
You have detect magic, so
Dimitri, do you have identify?
Dimitri's got identify as a ritual, so he's happy to be.
Yeah, okay.
We're happy to spend more than 8 hour long rest. I'm happy to. So
Yeah.
the place is comfortable enough.
An extra hour or two.
Well, it's up to you guys. I don't really care about this.
Yeah.
And that doesn't cost a spell slot.
Can you first detect
You're going to sunbathing
cloak
in,
to
work
see
on
if
the
it is magical?
tan.
Yes.
and so looking at it, the dagger is unusual, and you'll spend and I'll write something up for that one between now and then, the next session hopefully.
Okay.
And while they're doing that, I'd like to take my armor off. I don't want any response or anything, but I'd like to sit with the Book of Simarak and kind of just update him on what we've been doing so far. I don't know if he'll respond or not, but I figure if I kind of open the book and talk and then close
Give
it.
me a religion roll.
I get advantage on religion rolls because of that book.
You do.
See, I read something. So there was religion. So 17.
17. You feel as if your words have been heard, but you don't hear anything in return.
That's alright.
And the cloak is some form of displacement.
Ah, displacing cloak.
Cool.
But does it work with your armor?
Who knows? Probably not. It's the feeling I'm getting.
I wouldn't expect it to.
Well,
Although
you
you
was
must
wearing it over armor.
Because like I do get the +1 bonus to hit from the magic item.
You do.
I do. Oh, okay, so it might work.
And he was wearing it over armor. Like, over the same armor.
That because you thought it looked stylish.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, when you hit him, did you sense any effect of displacement?
I sense an effect of me stabbing him and him being very unhappy.
And he did. The point being the fact that you didn't find it hard to pick him out amongst it all or anything like that, did you?
Well, no, but yeah,
He didn't seem to be in two places at once.
no.
I'm
Maybe it's
guessing
not
that
very
the
strong displacement.
displacement effect wasn't working.
And the dagger has some form of slow magic on striking someone.
I know. We can do the non-magical version of identifying an item. Me and you. What's your name? Sorry, other warrior.
Simply.
Red.
Red. Simply red. I'll put the cloak on, and you punch me like 20 times, and we'll see if I get the displacement effect kicks in every now and then.
Deal, can we roll?
Gently.
He doesn't know that word.
You may need to take time to attune to the cloak if that's going to be in effect.
Oh.
I think we should try straight away.
Admittedly, you've got time, as I say, because I'm figuring that, yes, we're stopping here, because, as I say, Dimitri wants to work on his sunbathing and possibly take a dip in the lake if it's cooled off or something.
I don't think we should take too long, because these creatures want to take us to the Queen.
And you do realise that you have to do the equivalent of Harry Potter and the Cloak of Illusion, invisibility, cover yourself fully with the cloak for it to work.
What? You have to hide under it. What is displacement?
Just like a stump.
I thought displacement was like...
People can't actually tell where you are.
Oh.
So that'd be a better cloak for someone who pretends to be a stump.
So what happens when, like, my character, like, covers it with him? Does he go invisible? To the
You don't
other
go
guy?
invisible, you just seem to shimmer. And people can't tell where you're standing.
You gotta be
Actually,
completely covered.
no, Martin. Can I just... It's Stephen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stephen, when you put the cloak over, you're invisible. We're never going to tell you different.
Your griffin still looks at you.
Weird. Oh, so Clovius
But
doesn't
within
think
the
it's terribly
party, you
useful.
can see you.
No, he's invisible.
He's invisible.
Willie, he's invisible.
Well, you still say...
Invisible.
Oh, no, say it.
Okay, so we worked out with a cloak of displacement, a dagger of slowness with something else maybe, and the staff was...
Some form of striking.
Okay.
Figure that out later. Let us go and meet the Queen.
So the staff and the cloak are made from Nithia.
Oh, they're Nithian
okay.
items.
Which, from Dimitri's perspective, he doesn't know how well they'll work outside of Nithia.
Yeah.
Whereas the dagger is not.
Why is it not?
It's not a Nithian item.
So Clovius is going to keep the large battle axe, but not use it.
It is very heavy to carry.
He'll get it melted down into a lance.
I don't think it's within the skill set of the fire elementals to do that.
Clovius,
Not
Well,
from the fire elementals.
I suspect the problem you'll have with getting it melted down and turned into a lance is, in order to work the metal, that's why you were down in the depths of the
You're in
lava
heart
of
of
the volcano.
I also think that you
Can
should
be
probably
done.
not hoggle the special weapons. I think Willie should have that one.
Oh, sure. What?
What?
And that's
He's only
bigger than
4
you.
times Willie's size.
You could use it
2
as a skateboard. Put wheels on it. It's Willie's board.
I'm happy with the whatever, like the unbreakable dagger. That sounds good. And I mean the displacement cloak. I don't know if you guys can use that with the heavy armor, and whether that's worth using. I don't know.
So Clovius doesn't like it. He thinks it's silly that you have to hide under
It's
it.
an action to hide under it.
Yeah, he's not interested.
Okay.
It wouldn't be very convincing if he was on his griffin and then pulled it over himself as he's flying
It would
around.
seem to be more appropriate potentially for A, those who are more stealthy, and B, those that are wearing less armour.
And then when Willie puts it on, Willie just starts displacing without having to put it on, cover himself up.
Ah, because he's small.
No, because
It's a halfling made
he's
armor,
not wearing
like
any magic armor.
Oh, That was a puzzle.
Because for it to kick in, you have to completely cover the anti-magic armor.
What are we doing with the Durance Vial?
What do you want to do with the Durance Vial?
I don't know.
Well, Dimitri has it at the present time. Because at
Okay.
least, like, the sense that he hasn't necessarily handed it on to anyone. And when asked about it, because yes, he didn't bring it up at all, he says, I am planning on destroying it now that it's empty, but I figure it's going to be better to destroy it in a location outside of the hollow world, because it may be more difficult to destroy in a place that's designed to preserve everything.
The Coat will tell you it's not from this world, so it is not protected by the magic of this world.
Mm-hmm.
Having actually understanding the effects of the spell of preservation, they say.
Wouldn't you rather keep it to trap demons? Says Sir Clevius.
I think you may need to be reminded of the certain well-known saying about certain roads, pathways to hell.
The Gilded Road one? I don't know which one you mean.
The one that's paved with good intentions.
I mean, as an item of last resort, I think it's a goer, but I don't know.
Well, I don't see how it's evil if you use it to trap evil creatures.
It traps anything.
Anything. I thought it was just outsiders or something.
A majority of the things you'll come across, it can trap aberrations, it can trap celestials, it can trap fiends, it can trap elementals, it can trap a lot of things that are not actual natives to this world, and it doesn't distinguish between them.
Except on your say so.
Oh.
Or
And remember,
Oh, you can just like you can say
everything-
elementals. And then-
No, you just say trap or release, the equivalent of doing it.
what's
and
the
remember,
range?
you couldn't.
You don't know.
It was pretty big though, because it got the ones from the other side of the room.
That's it. Remember that you can't choose what to trap. It traps everything within range.
As
And
long
it
as
releases-
they don't make a
And
save.
it releases everything at once, not a single thing. So it's trap all, release all. That's all it does.
So Dimitri will just put it aside for the time being.
Okay.
So.
And lucky Dimitri didn't become a god, because he would have been trapped as well.
Well, that would have been a problem. Another god removed from the world.
Right, so he's not a
Um,
god.
No.
Good to know.
So he's
He's trying to destroy the proof.
That's it. After doing that sort of practice and research and information, and a good long rest, okay, Dimitri's certainly going to freshen up in the pool and prestidigitation to ensure that everything looks nice and pretty.
See, Dimitri, you just need to follow my example. If you get horribly scarred across your body, you no longer have sweat glands.
Dimitri pointedly ignores such a statement from Superman. Right up to the okay, and everything after the you've just got to follow my example.
Okay, so about probably about 12 hours after you rested, looked after serpents, the Karaite will come to you and say, if you wish to come, now's the time to leave.
All right, and
Would
then
be most honoured.
yes.
Yep.
Exactly where are we going? You mentioned some place, but how are we getting there?
Flight, they say.
How far away?
Coatls are taking us.
You have one with you who can fly, and the rest of you will be flying with us, they say.
Okay.
So you get a thing of flying up to the upper atmosphere towards one of the floating continents you saw earlier.
Right.
That's the purpose there. Dimitri did memorise fly today. As soon as they mentioned it was going to be a case of flying, he's like, okay, yep, I'm happy for you to carry me, but I'm learning fly. It's amazing how quickly I can cast on the way down.
Well, you think they're flying you up about 2 or 3 miles.
Yeah, you see, plenty of time.
That is plenty of time to cast a way to recover. And they heading for a cloud bank that stretches for miles. As they fly into the cloud bank, you see a floating continent hanging in the air ahead of you. Most of its base is covered by clouds. It looks like a seashore, with the water covered by the fog bank. But through the clouds you can make out a jagged underside of rock, and beyond it you can see more clouds below, stretching away up the curve of the hollow world. The serpent flies you above the continent and brings you in from a high viewpoint. From here it doesn't look big enough to be a continent, more like an island maybe, hundreds of miles long and shaped like a big raindrop lying on its side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so usually I do have a map somewhere hidden, but I can't dig that out at this stage.
Excellent.
So the white end of the island is a high mountain range with the mountains piled up on each other like lumpy pyramids, miles high. They are white with snow and rugged like the mountains of the world spine far below you. In the middle part of the island, these mountains gradually give way to forested hills and then to low hills and open grasslands that stretch to the far point of the landmass. The serpents bring you down toward the border between the hills and the grassland. As you descend, you see swarms of feathered serpents flying all over the grasslands and the hills. So you come down here for a nice soft landing. And they tell you that the hatchling's ground lies below. You may approach the Queen Mother there.
Sorry.
And you see a tunnel not far from where they are.
What did they say the name of this place was again?
They said the name of the place was... sorry, just getting to the right spot. Ash Moraine.
And whilst I assume that the Queen will be very recognisable when we approach her, appropriate title to use?
They just say the Queen Mother.
And you said these are the hatching grounds?
Yeah, that's what they call the hatching grounds, yes.
Is that when they hatch out as the feathered serpents that originally that make the cocoon before they become such as yourselves?
I said that's for the Queen Mother to tell you.
Okay. So, yep. I can't think of any other questions or curiosity at the moment. So.
So not far from where they drop you is a tunnel, and the serpents are happy to guide you to it, to where the Queen Mother is.
Alright, so we're not going to fall through this magical island.
Well, you're standing on the island at the moment.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. We're going,
But we're going down into the tunnel. Right, just
Into
asking.
the island itself.
Okay.
You said the island was 100 or so miles across, so there's probably a reasonable depth involved too.
Alright.
And there are mountains on top that are about a mile high.
Okay.
So, inside you see a cavern of bubbles. Magical light shines on walls and towers of crystal spheres. Bubbles blown in molten glass, then quick cooled, fill the cavern. They ring slightly like crystal goblets. The only other sound is a cackle of lightning somewhere in the distant caverns. Then comes a new sound, footsteps, gravel sliding, maybe even a curse or two, as you descend a passage not meant to be taken on foot. The serpents with you glide between the towers of crystal bubbles. The breeze of their flight makes a beautiful tone in each tower. And the serpents fly back and say, "Where is everyone?" Not
Are we there? Are we expecting?
They appear to be expecting more.
Right. Like twice as many people or 10 times as many people?
Okay, and as he says that, you see light flash. Everyone gets to make a dexterity saving throw.
$19.
17 for the Dimitri.
12.
17.
Okay.
It's my Griffin make one.
Yep.
Could say 19.
19. Okay. A bolt of lightning zaps and ricochets around the chamber, barely passing most of you, bouncing off the armor. Not actually getting. You feel no actual hit of it,
Oh, great.
but you do have the smell of ozone as it ricochets off you. You do feel as if a bit of it got drained as it hit you, but it still continued.
It drained me.
Some of the energy of the lightning got drained as it hit your armor,
Oh, okay.
but it didn't stop the spell fully.
That's interesting.
And can we see where it went? Or where it came from, I should say?
You see it continually ricocheting around, and you can hear it.
Oh, okay, so it's still going.
It's still going, yeah.
You guys with the armour, stand out and catch it.
Lightning rods.
And
I can try.
But
It's
basically,
serious.
you moved enough for it to miss
Sure.
you. Do you intentionally
Yeah,
try
I
to catch it?
guess
I will, yeah, why not?
Okay. Oh,
Let
yeah.
it hit you.
catch the lightning.
Okay, so
Sounds
I'll give you
stupid.
both an initiative to see who gets to try it first.
You go first.
Who gets to be the greater idiot, the faster idiot? I mean,
I got a nat 20 of idiocy.
Okay, so you jump in front of the ball,
20 of idiots.
and you feel it soak into your armor.
Yep.
You can your armor feels a bit lighter. It's lost about half its weight.
But is it still strong?
Still feels strong.
Yep.
so the more magic it absorbs, the greater its effect in the idea that it becomes a lighter weight armour.
Fair enough. And I just saved everybody by taking that.
The armor doesn't.
Well,
Feel
no, you followed orders. It's good to see.
You do realise that the armor is half as thick as it was.
Oh. Does the AC change?
So you realise
so
it
next-
only absorbs so much magic before it disappears.
So that's the way you make medium and lightweight armour with this style.
Right, fair enough.
But you did stop the lightning bolt.
Yep.
Well, Dimitri's going to look around and see if he can find any evidence as to where that might have been passed from, and then exactly also why it continued to ricochet.
Okay, so continuing further on, the smooth floor of the chamber is dotted with piles of symmetrical crystals, each fist-sized and seemingly cut like a fine, many-faced jewel. And as you go further in, you find the Queen Mother, a feathered serpent. She's a large coatl, about 30 feet from her brilliantly crested head to the tip of her lavishly feathered tail. Along her spine run slender pointed quills that shine in prismatic colours from the chamber's magical light. Her eyes are filmed over with a milky coating, and her wing feathers are frayed, showing great age. Yet her scales shine bright green like a mossy pond. And you can see scorch of lightning across her scales.
Is that like, is she being hurt by them?
She looks like she had been hurt by them.
And they're still coursing around her.
And she is stuck in a webwork of greasy grey silk, which is holding her in place.
Clovius, I think you and I should try and cut it.
And she says, whoever you are, save yourself, fly. And at which point you hear a familiar voice and see the goblin who you had killed earlier step out of the shadows, saying, you have come so far, and with every mile have made yourselves a greater nuisance to me. At which point we will finish the night with him holding what appears to be lightning in his hands.
The damn goblin again.
Well, as I said, and again, Dimitri's not planning on waiting to find out his dastardly plan.
This time he's not waiting to tell you either.
Can I ask a question, guys?
Yeah.
Who here has seen the new Godzilla vs Kong?
Yep.
No.
I don't think so, no.
Okay. In the movie, there's a bit where Kong jumps in the air holding the axe, and the lightning hits the axe. Right? So we need Willy to jump, holding the axe.
It's probably going to be a very long jump.
Well, it might be a very big jump, but the axe doesn't move.
So this person's really webbed up.
The queen has been completely helped pinned down by webbing.
We're going to save her. But we're stopping, we're going to deal with that next one.
Kill this guy
We'll deal with
again.
that next fortnight.
We're on the cliffhanger. So, okay then. Thanks very much, guys. Have a good night.
Thank
Thanks a lot,
you.
guys.
See you in a couple of weeks' time. We'll see you next week, Martin.
We'll see you next week. See you guys.
I'll see you next few days, Martin. I'll pop by, okay?
That sounds good. We'll see you soon, Emerus. Bye-bye.
Alright. No problems. Bye, all.